From the beautiful campus of the University of Notre Dame, the Chippewas enter this one having lost 3 straight for the first time in 3 seasons. Their opponent tonight is a small, fast team that put up 11 goals on them a night ago. Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Halloween. Welcome inside Compton Family Ice Arena here in South Bend, Indiana, inside the broadcast booth. My name is Reagan Cleaves, alongside Devin Sarah, and we're happy to have you along here this afternoon as the Central Michigan Chippewas wrap up their weekend trip here in South Bend against the Fighting Irish of the University of Notre Dame. Well, Devin, last night was, to say the least, one heck of a night for Central Michigan as they lost they lost 11-4, and that's the most goals they've given up in quite some time. What does CMU need to do differently here tonight at Compton?
Yeah, very tough night indeed, Reagan. The Chippewas collapsed defensively last night. They knotted the game up at 2 early in that first period, but after they let in 2 quick goals to end it, the floodgates opened. They scored 9 straight afterwards on their way to an 11-4 victory, as you mentioned. Central Michigan really just has to play better defensively. That starts with their defensive core being more stout in their own zone. They gave up a lot of shots last night. Notre Dame outshot them unofficially in that one, and it allowed for a lot of first chance, second, and third chance opportunities on Lauren Jones and eventually Elijah Jones. So if you're CMU, you have to tighten up defensively, and it has to be all hands on deck. Obviously, Braden Keel came back into the lineup. He's going to have a good night. Offensively, they're going to have to go back to the fundamentals. They have to shoot the puck on net much, much more, because when that creates chaos in front, they can get pucks on net. They can create the same thing that plagued them last night, second and third chance opportunities, and make rebounds and chaos for Xiaofun. We saw a couple of goals last night where he didn't have entirely control, notably in that 5-hole area. So we're going to have to see them play more stout offensively if they want a chance in this one.
Yeah, and that's what CMU needs to do here tonight. And you mentioned last night, Devin. Take us through that game last night for CMU and Notre Dame.
Yeah, it was a tough one for sure on the CMU side, as they opened the game scoring defensively well. Andrew Porzanik opened it up with the first goal of the night. It was a tip in front off from Charlie Hayes' shot, and he was able to put them up with that one. Julian Johnson followed for CMU, and then Notre Dame came storming through. It was knotted up at 2 late in that first. Notre Dame would score 2 goals in less than 20 seconds in that first period. The second period was more all Notre Dame. They scored 5 on the Chippewas in that one and a 7-2 nod at that point, and it was really making life tough for Lauren Jones, who was pulled eventually midway through that second period for freshman Elijah Jones, who made his second career game played as a Chippewa. In the third period, they allowed 4 more in that one to finish up in an 11-4 game. Julian Johnson, as we mentioned, got on the board. Nathan Bottles and Isaac Gibbs, the top forwards for the Chippewas, stepped up late in that game, although it would be considered garbage time. So a lot of chaos from both sides, but nonetheless a pretty lopsided game, to say the least, in favor of the Irish.
Yeah, certainly for CMU. That's the most goals they've given up since a 17-5 loss to Sioux College back in the 2017-18 campaign. So we'll see if they can recover here tonight in their season finale against the Irish. Taking a look around the MCHC, Adrian takes on Lawrence Tech in Farmington Hills later this afternoon, along with Calvin will visit Trine, finishing up that home-and-home set. Calvin won 4-1 last night over the Thunder at Eagles Ice Center in Grand Rapids, so we'll keep an eye on that one as we go on today. Saginaw Valley won 4-2 over Florida Gulf Coast yesterday. They will wrap up their weekend series in Estero here this afternoon. And Hope finishes up their weekend series against Miami here tonight. Hope won 7-2 over Miami, so a good showing for the Dutchmen coming off of their first regular season loss in 2 seasons. And finally, Western Michigan is taking on U of M Flint, Central Michigan's opponent, next week. So for CMU, this is their last out-of-conference matchup before they head into MCHC East play next weekend against U of M Flint. Devin, let's take a look at both these 2 teams tonight.
2 teams tonight, Central Michigan and Notre Dame. Central Michigan sitting at 5-3-0 on the season. They've lost 3 straight now. That is the first time since the 2018 season that they've done that, where they started 0-3. Notre Dame on the other side of the ice, 9-0-1. They have played phenomenal, as we mentioned, the last couple of weeks with big wins over Central Michigan, Ferris State, and Florida Gulf Coast. As we talked about in the pregame show, Notre Dame, one of the most high-scoring offenses now in the ACHA Division III. The second time they've put up double-digit numbers. And this one, the tilt is is in Notre Dame's favor. They're favored in this contest for sure, but the matchup has to be the fact that it was their first ever matchup in series history last weekend, or yesterday, I should say, sorry, with a 1-0 win for Notre Dame. So two teams that pretty much on paper had an even chance coming into this one, but after the contest yesterday, it looks like Notre Dame's going to be the favorite.
And for Central Michigan, this is a bounce-back night, and you look with hope to what Ferris State did 3 weeks ago against these same Fighting Irish. They got trounced in their opening game against Notre Dame, and then Ferris State came back the next night and was only within 1 goal of Notre Dame. So we'll see how Central Michigan can rebound here tonight against a tough Fighting Irish team. Now we'll move on to our players to watch. Devin, for Central Michigan, Nathan Bottles had a couple of good opportunities yesterday and seemed to give the CMU offense some life in the latter half of that game.
He really did, and you talked about how in garbage time he did have that third goal eventually for the Chips, but Nathan Bottles, the transfer from Arcadia University, NCAA Division III player, he's one of these guys that is stepping up into a leadership role now. He knows that he's one of the marquee players in this lineup. He knows that he has to play well, and he's going to have a great night if he wants to help his team to success.
Indeed, and talking about players who need to have a great night tonight, the starting net miter for Central Michigan, Elijah Jones, gets his second start in net for Central Michigan this season. He came in relief of Lauren Jones last night. He allowed 4 goals in about a half a game. What do you think Elijah needs to do here tonight?
Yeah, Elijah Jones, as we mentioned, he's going to make his second career start officially. We'll say third game played as a Chippewa. And for him, it's just about being so simple. He's got to go back to the simple basics. You know, as a goaltender, that being a short body like he is, he sits at 5'10" officially. He doesn't have a lot of room to get pucks up high above him. A lot of guys will try and bar down on him over his shoulder pads and get him moving a lot. So for Elijah, he has to go back to his fundamentals, go play on his strengths, pick up everything where he is below his pads, and not allow rebound control, because that's something that all these goaltenders have lobbied for, is the rebound control. When you allow second and third chance opportunities, especially with a defense that has struggled to help you in front of you, that's something that he's going to have control of. I'd say it's going to have to be his best hockey game, period, as a player to find success here today.
Indeed, it will be a test for Elijah Jones as the players get on the ice behind us here at Compton Family Ice Arena. We'll talk about Notre Dame here for the Fighting Irish. Matt Zufer had a phenomenal night last night, 2 goals, 3 assists. How does Central Michigan shut him down here tonight?
Yeah, he did. Zufer, the second leading scorer for the Irish, and he was really all over the ice in that top line. He was making things happen at the neutral zone, notably entering the zone cleanly. When he got shots on net, allowed his other forwards to get second chance opportunities. So he's one of those guys that you have to absolutely contain. And for him, he's going to be doing more of the same. He had, as we mentioned, a 5-point night last night on the win. He's going to be one of those players that is going to be, once again, all over the ice. Probably will see the majority of ice time, and one of those guys that Irish lean on to get the majority of their goals.
Another player to watch for the Fighting Irish is Ren Zuli, number 13. He had a massive goal last night on a tip out in front. A little bit with a couple seconds left in period number 1. How does Central Michigan shut him down along with the other Notre Dame offense and keep that offense at bay?
Yeah, Ranzuli's got a lot of confidence right now. I caught up with him ahead of the pregame warm-ups ahead on the ice, and he just talked about how confident and well he thought he played. When he saw his team up as good as they were, it allowed him to get his feet moving better. It allowed him to enter the zone cleanly, get shots on net. So for the Chippewas to contain him, once again, they have to shut him down early. They can't allow him to get clean passes inside the offensive zone and not allow him to get those shots in front. And if they do, they have to block them well. Basically shut down Ranzuli, force him to the neutral zone, and force him to play on his back heels as a defensive forward.
Indeed. Now we'll take a look at our keys to the game. Devin, what does Central Michigan need to do here tonight?
Reagan, I'm going to piggyback off of what you talked about. They have to get the first goal early, and they have to get more than just one to start. They have to make sure the back of the net is filled up early. If they can get up to a 2-0 lead, 3-0, that's going to build them a lot of momentum, especially because it's been hard for them to play a full 60 minutes. When that's the case, you have to find goals early. You have to keep your team in it. The second key to the game will need the power. The penalty kill needs to be better. They allowed 2 power play goals last night, which matched the entire season total, which has been phenomenal. Third right to the nation in the penalty kill, but it has to step up tonight, and really the whole defense has to be better. They collapsed too much last night. They have to be fundamentally sound, keep everything to the outside, and push those forwards to make those moves hard and make it difficult for them. My final key of the night is to get your top guys the puck and shoot it on the net. We talked about how Nathan Bottles and Isaac Gibbs both had goals last night. They need to do that, but when it matters most. Get your top 6 forwards the moment when the moment shines brightest, get them the puck and let them find the back of the net themselves and make those plays.
Indeed. Those are our keys to the game presented by SeamishIceHockey.com. We'll step aside. Austin Whaley will join us for the Coaches Show right after this here on the pregame show presented by OptimX Sports.
Welcome to the Coaches Show presented by OptimX Sports, your leader for online resources for hockey teams and websites. I'm joined with assistant coach Austin Whaley, who mans the forward groups for this team. Austin, obviously a tough loss last night, 11-4 against this Irish team. What did you tell your team as they were heading on the bus and coming to the rink this morning to rebound from a tough loss?
Right, yeah, so today's a new day. I told the guys that today we need to play with confidence. The first 18 minutes of the game yesterday, everybody was flying. We had the lead 2-1, and then they got 3 late goals there at the end. So we just got to find that confidence today, come out flying, and get a couple early goals and be able to hold on to the lead. Play complete 60 minutes today.
Absolutely. You're missing a couple of key forwards in this one. Ben Rychuk out of the lineup, Tyler Martin, Keegan Moore not with the team anymore, and Owen Campbell, who's been out until the spring semester. So you're already shorthanded as is with the forwards. Your top guys have to step up. Isaac Gibbs, Andrew Prozondik, Nathan Bottles all had goals last night. How do you look to that leadership group, and what do you expect them to do tonight to lead your team to success?
Yeah, I mean it's all men on deck. We don't have a lot of guys on the bench right now. Like you said, we got a lot of guys out, so we need a lot of guys to step up big for us. A lot of young guys need to step up big, and we have a lot of older guys that help out big too and provide a veteran presence to kind of give them that edge to come into the game with the right mindset. But we're gaining a lot of progress here. We just had a tough break yesterday. Today's a new day, and hopefully we'll get the win here.
The first time since 2018 you guys have lost 3 straight, dating back to Sioux College 17-5 loss. I'm sure you remember that one, as it wasn't that a fun time. A team like this will have to rebound well. Thank you for your time, Austin, and good luck today. That was the Coaches Show presented by OptimX Sports, your leader in online resources for hockey teams and websites. We'll be back with Puck Drop next for the Game 2 of this weekend series between Central Michigan and the Fighting Irish. Stay tuned, everybody.
Thank you.
Now a feed out in front. Bottles again trying to get to it. And here come the Irish off of the turnover. Pass up left wing. Here's Ryan Renzulli into the opposite corner. Good work there by Andrew Siraki, and he'll steam up right wing. Siraki across the line, lost the puck, will go into the corner to fetch it. Puck loose into the near side. Porzondik battling for it there with Zachary Welch. Out come the Irish down right wing. Calvin Grass will dump it in wide of goal into the opposite corner. Welch had 5 points last night. 2 goals, 3 assists for the Irish in that 11-4 win. Here's a shot, deflected out in front. Jones made the save, and the rebound is loose out in front. And Morgan is able to chip it to the far corner. Welsh kept it in, though, for the Irish. Here's a clearing attempt off of a body, and Jay Nadeau's able to finish it out, and we've got a hand pass by Central Michigan, and that'll stop play with 11:15 to go.
Just tuning in now to our broadcast, folks. Fans, don't forget the CMU Club Hockey Network YouTube channel is your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts for men's Division III and women's D2 hockey. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so as never miss a moment of Chippewa hockey. Just go to YouTube and search CMU Club Hockey Network to find the channel. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Speaking of the women's D2 team, here's an icing call against the Irish, and Tyler Wiedemeyer thought that it shouldn't have been icing, and the referees agree. We'll have a draw at neutral ice. Speaking of the women's D2 team, they open up their series against Northern Michigan this evening. Derek Steele and Matthew Ryder will have the call for you right here on CCHN later this evening. Up from Marquette. First big road trip of the year for the women's D2 team.
Just tuning in now with us, Central Michigan down 2-0 after an early goals scored by Notre Dame off of 2 rebound attempts. And like that, Reagan has led to an early goal here until 2-0 in favor of the Irish. Similar case to what happened where we left off last night.
Isaac Gibbs trying to get things going for Central Michigan, wasn't able to get a clean shot off as it was blocked in front of Vincent Sa. And the Chippewas will have to regroup at center, and they choose to dump it around in. Sa have his net to play it, 10:31 to go in the opening period, 2-0 Irish. Maxwell Zufer and Karowski getting goals for the home team here at Compton Family Ice Arena. A bigger sheet of ice, and maybe something that we didn't really talk about enough last night for the Central Michigan netminders. They're not used to playing on the bigger sheet of ice, and it's going to take a little bit of adjustment for these netminders, not used to playing with the bigger ice sheet, the different angles. We'll see how it fares how it fares here this afternoon. Chippewas thought that should have been waved off on the icing, but it goes not in their favor. Drawn to the left of Jones here. Austin Ritter clears it out with help from Isaac Gibbs, and Chippewas sent the length of the ice. Icing will be the call, and the CMU fails to get a line change in. They've been struggling on that here today. That line of Martin, Ritter, Wild, Gibbs, and Johnson exhausted here.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, and Johnson will try to win the draw here.
The first 10 minutes of this hockey game really have not gone in favor of the Chips at all. They what you mentioned, tired, but they more look demoralized after giving up 2 early goals in this one. They have to find a way to get themselves back into it. All it takes is one good shot opportunity, but they have to find a way to clear it and enter the zone cleanly first. And if you're just tuning in with us, we apologize for any technical difficulties on the audio side. 2-0 game in favor of CMU, or Notre Dame.
Puck bouncing around at neutral ice, 9:30 to go in period 1. Over the line, right side. Here's a shot there by the Irish, and a good save by Jones. And the Irish will have to regroup at neutral ice. An errant pass there by Nolan will go all the way back into the defensive end for the Irish. They play D-to-D catch, and eventually are able to forward it out to neutral ice. Up with speed, here's Renzulli over the line, trying to split the defense, lost the puck in the process, and Julian Johnson will move up the left wing, or up the right wing before he's pinned to the boards there by Hadley Stevenson. The pass ahead to Stevenson, hopped over his stick. He and Camaro will go into the corner across the way. 8:50 to go in period number 1. Central Michigan trailing 2-0. Now a feed out in front. Good intercept there by Nathan Bottles, but his pass on the outlet was intercepted. Central Michigan hasn't been able to clear the zone as effectively as they would normally want to, as Keelan Baker turns and fires it down the ice. This will again be icing for CMU. just can't get anything out of their zone unless it's an icing, Devin.
Yeah, and the pressure is on. Notre Dame is passing the puck very cleanly. They're entering the zone perfectly, able to make some one-touch passes that are just getting shots on net to Elijah Jones, and that's forcing the defenders to just clear the puck the length of the ice and play that dump-and-chase game. They don't want to, but it's what they have to do, especially when you're backed up defensively and banged up on the forward positions. They're going to draw this one. It's not clean. They're going to possibly kick him out of the circle for that one. That's going to draw a penalty. Yeah.
Face-off violation on Maxwell Zufer.
Now that's an unusual penalty you don't see every day, Reagan.
Indeed.
That's the first power play of the game. Will be coming up for the Chippewas because of that one. Maxwell Zufer sent to the box for that that face-off violation. And CMU, this is the spark that they needed. This is an opportunity for them to get back in this hockey game. They have to get to the point. They have to get a shot on net and create some chaos for the goaltender Saw.
Central Michigan on the power play this season, 22.86%. Let's see if they can do something here. Charlie Hayes at the left point, drops it up for Martin High slot. His pass down low took a deflection, and Nadu will chase it behind the goal. Nadu comes out with that into the left corner, up top for Hayes near side. Hayes holds on to it, lets her wrist shot go, looking for the deflection in front by Baker. Bottles on the far side. He just put it wide. Hayes, good job to pinch down from the point to get the loose puck, and Baker comes into it for Central Michigan. Hold, slide it across to Morgan in the right circle, and there's going to be a penalty up here on Baker. Interference, or a high stick, actually, the call. So CMU will go to a 4-on-4 here for the next 125.
That's a demoralizing penalty, Reagan. Keelan Baker just trying to get back at the blue line and keep that puck inside the zone, and it causes them to go to the box 4-on-4. And gosh, that's such a backbreaker, especially for a power play that seemed like they were just getting their feet under themselves and was going to look like to have success. Not the case. They're going to go to 4-on-4 now back in their own zone.
So they draw away to the left of Elijah Jones. Baker off for a high stick. We're 4-on-4 for the next minute and 25. Nadu digging in for the draw there with Hopkins, and it comes free. Irish keep it in though at the point. Sent across to the near side, and it comes out just too far for Seamus Regan. Pass ahead, here comes Hopkins over the line. Hopkins slid it across, look out, the Irish are in. Big save by Jones, and he covers the loose puck with Hopkins right on the doorstep. 1:05 to go in the 4-on-4.
Man, Christopher Martin took a big spill into the end boards right there, just trying to push the forward away from getting back to the net, and Elijah Jones able to scoop that one up. That's another chance for Notre Dame. With all this open ice, Reagan, they have a lot of room to move, and it allows for shot opportunities like that one right down the middle on Broadway, and they got some more coming up here, it looks like.
Here's Regan at the right point. Wrist shot through traffic, deflected in front there by Kurowski. Looking for his second of the night, was unable to get that one past Jones. Shot from the left point was fanned on, and before it's sent down to Kurowski in the left corner. Kurowski backs it up there for Hopkins. Hopkins holds along the far half wall, taken down by Siraki. They'll let him play here. Siraki generates the turnover, slides it ahead to Morgan, and he'll charge in after Regan. Icing waved off. They go to the corner. It's around to the near side. 35 to go in the 4-on-4. Good keep at the point there by Austin Ritter. He'll turn and fire it into the offensive end and behind the board. 6:55 to go in period one. Central Michigan trailing by 2, trying to get back in this one on this 4-on-4. Lots of open ice here on the Olympic size sheet. Here's Hopkins down the left side, bumped into by Siraki. Gibbs and Hopkins going to the corner. Siraki pins his man down. It's 2-on-2 in the corner. Good work by Hopkins to work that puck free to the near side after regaining his feet. He slides it up to Azar at the right point. He'll let a shot go, kicked away by Jones, and the rebound. Great save there by Jones. Puck kept in at the corner. Irish now on the power play as Zufer's out of the box. Zufer puts it up. It's hopped over the stick, and it's up to Azar. Azar gets it back high slot. Trying to throw it on goal, blocked by Hopkins unintentionally. Now look out, Welsh to the side of the net for Zufer. Back to the near side for Welsh, right in front of us here in the broadcast booth. Up there to Azar, the high slot, his shot went high. 6 seconds to go in the power play for the Irish, and the Chippewas are able to get it out, but not only as far as center. Baker hops out. Chippewas successfully kill off that abbreviated power play. Look out, Zufer in the slot. His shot was blocked, and Baker comes bowling in to Zufer, sending him flying. Puck free behind the net. It's thrown out in front. Loose puck in the high slot. Morgan takes a spill, and it's kept in by the Irish. Extended zone time here for Notre Dame. Zufer behind the net. And at the side, his pass was knocked away, though, by Andrew Siraki. Puck fished out of there by Welsh behind the net. Fired it out in front. Bouncing puck to Hopkins at the point. Sent to the near side for Lindahl. The president for this club fires it wide. Loose puck out in front off the pass. It's deflected to the far corner. And Isaac Gibbs will take it and set it the length of the ice. Guess what? It's going to be icing. And CMU tries to get a line change in. But it won't work. And that same group is going to have to stay out in Baker, Gibbs, Siraki, Camara, and Morgan.
That was good work by CMU defensively to disrupt the passing lanes. Notre Dame moving their feet a lot, especially on that and last 30 seconds of that power play. They really got it back to the point and trying to make stuff happen in front. And defenders blocking in front. Good job, poised, staying defensively the last 2 minutes.
Behind the net, they play at the side. Hopkins trying to jam it home, and Elijah Jones seals the right post and holds on. With 4:56 to go, fans stay with us for the first intermission report. Devin Sarah will have that for you here. In 4:56 game time, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Chippewas hockey, as well as the rest of the ACHA and the rest of Chippewa athletics. We'll also recap this game, which right now sits 2-0 in favor of the Irish, but they've been pouring it on here in the latter half of this opening frame. Right in front of us here, it was played off the wall by David Kimmel. Kimmel left it there for Wiedemeyer, and they go to the corner right in front of us. Gillifin played to the boards there by Austin Ritter. It's fished down there by Wiedemeyer, but he turned it over to Austin Ritter, who'll steam up left wing. Will gain the red line and dump it into the offensive end. Behind Son, Nathan Buttles going after the loose puck. Chopped it on goal. It was turned aside by the Notre Dame netminder. Great job there by Porzondik to come from the forward position to keep that puck in. Austin Ritter going off exhausted to the bench. Chippewas have some zone time here, but they give it away, and out come the Irish left to right. Over the line, Kimmel right side. Good poke. Check there by Kielb. Chippewas are unable to keep control. Look out, across ice feed, they fire it, and just putting it wide. There was the Irish forward open on the left wing. Here's Lindahl, the alternate captain for the Irish, holding at the right point. Shot deflected wide, and Central Michigan has a penalty coming up. It's going to be Braden Kilb off 2 minutes for interference, putting the Irish back on the power play.
Yep, another penalty caused there by Braden Kilb, as Reagan mentioned, and good zone time early on that last minute or so by CMU to gain the offensive area and make stuff happen. Porzonic did a good job screening the body to keep it, but once they got out of the zone, once again, the Irish just joining up on the rush. They've got a 2-on-1 opportunity in front, and man, Andrew Porzonic just doing everything offensively, defensively to get back on the puck. But Braden Kielb caused the interference and leads to another power play for the Irish.
Irish 0 for 1 on an abbreviated power play earlier in this period. They'll go to work in the offensive end. Look out, a shot was ripped just wide. And on the carom, it'll go all the way back into the Irish end.
Yeah, and tired bodies really have been the story so far in the last, I would say, 15 minutes. You talked about Reagan, the shorted lines ahead of this one with a couple of notable forwards out of the lineup, and it's just caused these forwards to be so tired, especially having to back up in their own zone all game long so far.
Irish control. Lindahl at the left point, slides it across to Nolan. Nolan back to Lindahl. Will slide it down low there for Renzulli across the way. Renzulli trying to feed a pass down low and off of Siraki, but he gets it right back to the left point. He'll send it to the near side for Nolan. He got it off his stick across the way. Couldn't get a handle on it. There was Hopkins and another shot saved by Jones on the rebound. He couldn't glove it. 59 to go on the power play, and a pass up top is deflected out. Central Michigan struggled last night on the PK, went 1 for 3. Now look out, a shot there from the slot by Renzulli.
Yeah, and they're
Whistled
playing
wide.
This group, even though it's a fresh line, they're just playing tired, Reagan. They have to collapse defensively every time the Irish get it back to the blue line, and it's really just forcing them to put it on Elijah Jones, and so far he's been good the last 4 or 5 saves.
2:18 to go in the period, 30 seconds to go in the man advantage for the Irish. In the box is Braden Kilb, 2 minutes for interference. Look out, here comes Gibbs, short-handed on the left side. Let a shot go, but it was a good defensive play there by the Irish coming back. On the back check to knock his shot down. Now the Irish poke into the offensive end, turning on the Jets. Here's Welsh into the corner. He beat Martin to it, and Welsh holds along the half wall. Working up top. Here's a shot. That was blocked, and Gibbs another blocked shot as it goes up and out of play. 1:49 to go in the period.
Yeah, and, subjectively, Isaac Gibbs trying to get the shot on there on a 1-on-2. I'd like to see him maybe wait for those forwards to come back, create a little bit more control with the puck, because the puck possession has been all on Notre Dame's side of the ice so far. And if CMU wants to muster anything to actually get a shot on Saw, they have to gain some control of this puck. So this one's another crucial face-off here with 3 seconds left in the power play.
We'll get an official shot total for you in the break, but can't imagine Central has more than 10 shots on goal. Now behind the net, they feed it out in front. Saved by Elijah Jones on the one-timer there from Grass out in front. They battle for it in the corner. Jay taken down. Look out, Hopkins right in front. He was denied. And Nathan Bottles picks up the puck and will start the other way for CMU right to left. In the closing minutes of this first period, Bottles in the offensive end gets past him, and he draws a penalty. And the Irish are going to go back on the penalty kill. CMU with Nathan Bottles drawing the penalty. Good work and good hustle there by the transfer from Arcadia. That'll put CMU back on the man advantage.
What you just said, Reagan. Good hustle there, able to deke around one defender, and he's using the boards to his advantage there. He's screening the puck off the boards, forcing the Notre Dame defender to turn around, and when he gets around him, he causes him to play from behind. What does that cause? Him to whack the stick away. What does that cause? It leads to tripping penalties, and it leads to defensive confusion. Great job by Nathan Bottles to draw the penalty there.
Central Michigan keeps it in. Here's Hayes at the left point. His shot was, he didn't get a ton on it. We'll get it back at the left point on the wraparound. We'll throw it down low for Nadeau. Nadeau holds back up top for Hayes left point. He'll slide it across for Martin. Martin will tee it up and fire a shot. Blocked out in front there by Baker. Almost trickled past. A minute 38 to go in the man advantage. 54 to go in the period. Here's Bottles out in front. Fire save. The rebound just sent wide. Great save there by Saw. And the Irish are able to get it out.
Boy, what a diving stop there by Saw to get over. Bottles was all over the net, point-blank range, and they had something on the back door right there. They just could not get it past Saw, who made the diving stop.
40 to go in the period. Here's Baker high slot. Fires a shot, saved by Saw. Rebound is controlled. Morgan in the half wall. Morgan along the boards, trying to work it free for Hayes. Hayes trying to bat it down the boards, and he does. Morgan played it down into the corner with 19 to go in the period. Bouncing puck is taken by the Irish and thrown down the length of the ice. 52 seconds to go in the power play. 10 seconds to go in the period. Out comes Connor Morgan. Chippewas don't have a ton of time, and they will not be able to get a shot off as this goes into the Irish end as time expires. After one, the Irish get 2 goals in quick succession. Zufer and Kurowski, the difference through 20. It's 2-0 after one. Devin will have the recap of the first period for you when we come back here on CCHN.
Welcome back to Compton Family Ice Arena here in South Bend, Indiana. Devin Sarah ahead of the first intermission report presented by SeaMitchIceHockey.com. Officially the score 2-0 in favor of Notre Dame over Central Michigan. 2 early goals scored by Maxwell Zufer and Andrew Kurowski to get the Notre Dame Fighting Irish started. They've been on the forecheck all of this period and dominant on all categories of the ice. Officially in this one in power plays, 0 for 2 on the night for Notre Dame. Central Michigan 0 for 1, but they have a carryover penalty going into the first period. So let's talk about this one. Central, off the heels of an 11-4 loss last night, outshot so far in this period 17-11. That means Notre Dame is dominating the puck possession time as well as the offensive zone time. Central, very tired in their own end, is forced to collapse defensively and rely on their goaltender Elijah Jones to come up with some big saves, and he has late in this one. Stopped 6 of 8 so far in this one and 15 of 17 overall. So you talk about a player that coming off his first career start a couple weeks ago against Lake Superior State. He pitched a shutout 5-0 in his first start. But in this game right now, facing some adversity, Elijah Jones, the freshman goaltender from Port Huron, Michigan, he'll have to play better in this second period to give his team a chance at winning this one. And for CMU, it's been about the keys for them, better defensively. Late in that period, they were cutting off passing lanes when they needed to, but the offense has to step up. The forecheck has to have more control in the offensive zone and at the neutral zone and create some offensive shots on net. They did that on Saul, the goaltender, late in that period. They had some good opportunities, good looks, and they'll have this carryover power play, as I mentioned, to go with it. Unofficially, we do not have any score updates for you as of late. Reagan gave in the pregame show the games going on today. Saginaw Valley State against Florida Gulf Coast. We'll have an update for that one, as well as Adrian College and Lawrence Tech coming up later on in this afternoon. So that's where we sit after first period. So far, Notre Dame up 2-0 over Central Michigan and dominant so far. CMU going to have to make some changes offensively to get back in this one. Stay tuned. Second period action coming up next in this one. This has been the Central Michigan Intermission Report presented by SeaMitchIceHockey.com.
And we're back here inside Compton Family Ice Arena, ready for period number 2. Central Michigan has 41 seconds left on a power play. And they will head left to right, wearing those road maroon uniforms with gold trim. And not the Irish wearing those cream jerseys with gold and navy trim. We're underway as the puck is dropped. Across the way, Christopher Martin loose the puck at neutral ice. In comes Zachary Welsh down right side. He lost the puck, and Martin goes into the defensive end to scoop it up, and Baker picks up the puck. His pass was intercepted. Here's Welsh on the right side. Welsh trying to feed it out in front. Loose puck bouncing in front of Elijah Jones, and it's sent high. Up at the right point, kept in by Lindahl. Lindahl with 5 to go on the penalty kill for the Irish. Here's a shot from a sharp angle, saved by Elijah Jones, and the Irish have successfully killed off the second CMU power play of the afternoon. 19:11 to go in period 1. Reagan Cleaves alongside Devin Serra with you here inside the broadcast booth. In the second of 2 games, look out, here's a pass behind the defense. Moving in on Elijah Jones was Ryan Renzulli, and the freshman goaltender made a phenomenal stop out in front. 1:10 gone in period 2. CMU tries to throw it out. Icing is possibly the call, and Connor Morgan lost an edge, but was able to wave off the icing. Now a pass ahead, tipped by Renzulli just after the red line. That will negate an icing for the Irish. Oh, and Kilb gets belted into the boards, and that's going to draw a boarding penalty for the Irish.
Yep, just at the near side corner, Kilb goes down hard after the boarding, and that's a tough play to take for Renzulli, who was just trying to move in there and finish his check, and it causes another power play opportunity. And this is one, I think, CMU now, early in the period, they talked about getting in the locker room a fresh start. They had a tough start to this game, letting in 2 early goals. Now is the time when they have to strike. Get something to the blue line, get a shot on net, and create chaos in front. We'll see what they can do on this second power play opportunity.
CMU can't win the draw on the offensive end, and Hopkins battles behind the boards with Porzondik. Puck free at the side of the net. Man goes down. That is Stafford. Up on the near side, Morgan works it up top to Gibbs, back down to Morgan, right wing half wall. He backed it up the boards there for Gibbs. Gibbs lost the puck in the slot, and Camara couldn't keep it in at the blue line.
Yeah, not a lot of poise there from Isaac Gibbs, just trying to handle that puck and couldn't keep it inside the zone. They have to reset.
Here's Morgan down the right wing, accepts the check before putting it behind the goal. Andrew Porzondik holds. He'll work it up high to Gibbs. He'll let a wrist shot go through traffic. That was wide of goal, and Sa's able to pick it up off the end boards with 1:20 to go in the Renzulli minor.
Yeah, and a tough time for CMU bodies in front. They're not really able to screen like they want to. Saw that shot all the way from the blue line there from Isaac Gibbs, and you know, if you're CMU, really the problem has been too is they haven't been moving their feet enough. They've really just been standing around and waiting for those opportunities, and the Irish defenders see it the whole way. So you got to start moving your feet better here.
Clean win by Nato. He got up to Martin, across to Hayes. Top of the left circle. He'll let a wrist shot go pocketed away by Sa. And the Irish turn and fire it down the ice with 1:10 to go.
Good block in front there from the Irish defender. Allows them to clear at the length of the ice. And that's demoralizing because now CMU has to go all the way back and reset. Right now, having a tough time getting clean passes off.
Here's Nadeau into the right circle, out in front for Bottles, and he lifted it just high. Good defensive work there by Addison Azar. Bottles up top for Hayes, across to Martin, high slot. Martin down to Bottles in the near circle. He'll circle up to the high slot. Into the left circle, fires a shot, save, and Saha pounces on the rebound with that left catching glove with 42 seconds to go.
And that was moving in. Addison Azar preventing any rebound control from Jay Nadeau having an opportunity. And we've already seen Sauce had a couple of times where he hasn't really seen the puck down. He's had to glove it hard and get help from his defenders. So if you're CMU, more or less keep doing what you're doing. Get those shots on net, create chaos, because it allows rebounds, second and third chance opportunities.
Martin's shot from the top of the right circle was deflected by Bottles out in front, and it skittered just wide past Saw. Here's Hayes in the left circle, a shot blocked, and that'll come out off of Nolan's leg.
Yeah, good block there from John Nolan, the forward from Wayne, New Jersey.
Here's Bottles. Oh, he thought he had a man out in front, but it was intercepted by Nolan and sent the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Charlie Hayes takes Renzulli to the corner. They feed it out in front. And a big hit in the left corner there on Jay Nadeau. The Irish deflected right out in front. That's a great opportunity there for Calvin Grass, but he can't capitalize as the Irish have killed off their third penalty kill of the afternoon. Central Michigan 0 for 3 on the man advantage. Here's Hanley Stevenson as the Irish move right to left, and outlet pass to Gilfillan. Gilfillan out in front, moving in on Jones, and a big save there by the freshman netminder. Across the way, Lindahl pinches down from the right point, throws it into the corner. A battle for it there. It comes into the right circle, and we've got a penalty. Oh, never mind, just a hand pass on the Irish.
Yep. Moving into the zone, that third line back out there going to work. Hayden Flynn along with Brandon Clements and Julian Johnson. And again, it looks like Tyler Cataline, or rather Austin Whaley, is electing to move Clements around the ice and see where they can generate some offense. Right now on their back heels defensively, they need it. This is a crucial face-off here, and we haven't really touched on it. CMU has not won a lot of face-offs tonight, but they get one there.
Now look out. Porzondik in on goal. Couldn't corral a bouncing puck with the defensive Stevenson right on his back. And out come the Irish off the turnover. Cross-rink feed to Wiedemeyer. Wiedemeyer over the line, taken down. And the Irish turn the puck over. 15:32 to go in period 2. Andrew Porzondik dumps the puck into the far corner.
Yeah, good work by Stevenson there. His man is the battle of fives on Porzondik, who tried to stick handle in alone and couldn't get the shot off because Stevenson was there to prevent it.
Pizzuto feeding it out of the slot. A shot and a save there by Stafford. That was a shot. It was blocked in front there by off the stick of Stafford. Now the Chippewas send to the length of the ice. It'll be played back here by Seamus Regan.
And you know, Reagan, one thing I've noticed from this Irish forward group is they started to move the neutral zone a lot quicker. They want to move the pace up and start maybe dump that puck in more, and it's causing turnovers that are leading to CMU chances like this one.
Brandon Clements fed it out in front, too far for Isaac Gibbs. Now a pass out in front there from the Central Michigan leading scorer. Couldn't connect with Jay Nadeau. Up the wing, into the offensive end. Henry Steckman threw it on goal. Puck free to the near side. The Irish are able to keep it in, but look out. Puck stolen away by Clements. He'll move it up the left wing to Isaac Gibbs across that line. Left side will work into the shot. And held on to there by Saw with 14:23 to go in period 2.
Not a terrible decision by Gibbs to shoot that one. Just right in the money where he wants it. He's trying to use that defender to kind of screen his own goaltender, Saw. But he saw it the whole way with the glove side. And I'll give credit where credit's due. Saw's come up big in this game. And from the looks of him, he's a pretty big goaltender, sitting at 6'1", 160 pounds. Definitely respectable in his own right behind Chafoun, who's known as the primary starter for Notre Dame.
Now here's Renzulli down the right side. Will work in on goal. A big save by Jones. And he holds on. Good defensive work there by Christopher Martin. Back for CMU. Denying Renzulli on the opportunity.
Boy, does Elijah Jones move, diving the body all the way over to make that stop there for them. And man, that's just one where, look, that's a quick transition. That could have easily been an Irish goal. And if you go down 3-0 in this game now, Reagan, that's a tough mountain to climb back from.
Central Michigan loses the draw to the right of Elijah Jones. Here's a shot from the right point. It was deflected wide. Now it's free behind the net. Funneled around to the near side there by Kurowski. Chippewas get to the loose puck across the way. Austin Ritter pitchforks that out to center. It's tipped into the offensive end there by Julian Johnson, who goes ramming into the boards there with Addison Azar. Johnson trying to get out of the neutral zone, and he does. Here's Ritter in with a shot from the left half wall, and it's gloved there by Saw. Now we're taking a look at this date in Chippewas history. We're gonna take a trip back to 2017 when entering the third period up 4-3 against Oakland. Both Nathan Allgaier and Dalton Sutherland completed hat tricks with 2 goals each in the third. The 4-goal third period powered CMU to an 8-4 win, bouncing back from a 3-2 loss to the Golden Grizzlies the night before. Central Michigan controls off the draw. Here's Morgan with a shot in the left circle. It bounced free, comes out in front, and taking it there is Azar. He got it up to the point and out, and here come the Irish. Bouncing puck around at neutral ice. Here's Welsh over the line left side. Welsh in with Porzondik. It was fed out in front. Here is Zufer. Welsh gets it in the right corner, out in front, intended for Zufer, didn't go. Kept into the right point here by Stevenson. He'll let a race shot go, knocked down in front by Hayes. Chippewas feed it to the far corner, and Hayes' pass out through neutral ice was intercepted, and the Irish have to go for changes.
Yeah, that was a quick pass attempt there on Porzanic. Couldn't handle it, and it forces him to retreat. That is Andrew Siraki in his own end. And that's really something where we talked about getting back to the fundamentals, Reagan. It isn't that much difficult to understand. They just haven't passed the puck well. They really haven't taken high-quality shots on Azza, except that one right there from Isaac Gibbs. And that's the player that needs to step up right there on the ice. Isaac Gibbs, he has to find a way to score in this one and be the benefactor for the Chips.
A good opportunity there by Gibbs. You just put it high over Sa before rattling the boards to the near side with a hit on Gilfillan. Now the Irish feed it on from Wiedemann. That is shot knocked away, and here comes Brendan Clements down left wing. Here streaming out behind him, Turner Elson style. Feeds it across, Camara, a shot, and a big save by Sa coming across to his left. Denied. Camara on that point-blank chance. Now Nadeau down to Clements. Clements holding it along the far half wall. That's a sharp angle shot that hit Stevenson in the head before caroming to the near side. Bouncing puck kept in there by Nadeau.
Good forecheck by the Chips.
Now here's a shot there by Kilb, tipped in front there by Isaac Gibbs, and the Irish are eventually able to get out. Good offensive zone pressure there by Central Michigan here.
Yeah, their best opportunity of the game, I'd say, Reagan, because they were able to keep it in the zone, number one. And number two, Brandon Clements and Bottles were just trying, or Camaro rather, were making stuff happen, the two defensemen. And, you know, when things aren't going well, you look to somebody to step up, and it looks like those freshman D pairings are stepping up big. Look out, though.
Look out, here's a giveaway. Steckman right in, and he scores! Austin Ritter fanned the pass at the blue line. Steckman intercepted it, worked into the slot, and fired it low glove side on Elijah Jones. It's 3-0 Irish.
That is a tough pill to swallow. Austin Ritter caught missing the pass, caused to a turnover, couldn't handle the puck, and it leads to a goal for the Irish, now up 3-0 in this hockey game. And that's a backbreaker after they just had an excellent forecheck that looked like a scoring chance was going to come of it. None coming. It goes the other way. Irish now up big in this one again.
Veteran defenseman Austin Ritter just fanned on that shot, or fanned on that pass at neutral ice, and led to a grade A scoring chance for the Irish that they capitalized on. And for Steckman, that's goal number 1 on the year in his 9th game. Played all but one for the Fighting Irish this season. Well, here come the Irish up through center ice. Renzulli a pass ahead. They battle for the left corner. Renzulli picks up the loose puck. It's out in front. Drop pass for Hopkins through his skates. He gets it back, though, from a sharp angle, throwing it out in front. Kilb knocked that pass down, and the Chippewas will come out here. Puck kept into the line, though. Good work there by Renzulli. He'll work in, and he rang it off the iron behind Elijah Jones with 10:19 to go in period 1.
Yeah, now the miscues for Central Michigan are starting to stack up. Caught in their own end. They're missing on clearing attempts and passes. And this is a byproduct of just a frustrated bench that knows they haven't really generated a whole lot of offense today and have played the majority of game in their own zone. And really, when that happens, that just demoralizes the momentum of a team. And it really just gives Notre Dame free will to do whatever they like on the ice. Another chance right here.
They've got a good opportunity off the face-off, winning the offensive end, though. Zufer couldn't really get a shot off. Now a shot from the left point was blocked out in front. Elijah Jones was able to track that puck, and Camara will clear it out. Bouncing puck around by Porzanic. He'll move across that line left side. Oh, we're getting a shot from the top of the left circle, and Sa stands tall with 9:56 to go in period number 1.
Fans, stay tuned. Coming up later in this period, we'll have the intermission report presented by CMHISoccer.com. Reagan Cleves will have that one for you guys to wrap up all things happening in this second period. We'd also like to remind you today's broadcast is a copyrighted presentation of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the CMU Club Hockey Network, and Moore Hall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, and MHTV.
Out to the left side, here comes Nathan Bottles in with speed. Who'll let a shot go off the side of the net. It took an odd carom up into the air and onto the stick of Zufer. Zufer will clear out as we're over halfway through this hockey game. Central Michigan trailing 3 goals and on. And a penalty here is going to come up against Camaro. Look out. Oh, Zufer goes down. Took some limbs up high there from Isaac Gibbs as he went into the corner. And Clements is probably going to get the penalty here.
Yeah, I would guess something along the lines of boarding for that one. And
I don't know. The arm was up before that. I don't know what they're going to call
right.
here.
That's.
We'll see what the referee signals. 9:19
sure
to
Clements
go.
Doesn't even know. He's unsure of it. He's looking over, and I'm thinking, I'm just trying to reach over and finish my check.
Slashing penalty?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Could be. That's still, nonetheless, a tough, demoralizing. Once again, just the miscues and the penalties have racked up now for CMU and just allowed Notre Dame to really take control of this game.
Central Michigan on the penalty kill for the 3rd time tonight. They're 2 for 2 thus far. They had a stellar penalty kill coming into last night. They had 3 opportunities. Notre Dame converted on 2 of them. Puck free at the side of that. They feed it out in front. And nobody was home in the back door to pound home that rebound. Puck is free behind the goal. It's wrapped around to the near side. Kept in there by Lindahl left point. Lindahl will bounce it off the wall. Taken there by Hopkins left circle. We'll work it down low into the corner for Renzulli. Renzulli down to Hopkins. Now to Hopkins. Hopkins out in front for a man loose in the slot in John Nolan, but the Chippewas intercept and throw it down the length of the ice.
Nice work by Isaac Gibbs to disrupt the passing lane once again. And Notre Dame, they've kind of taken their time with the puck. They know they have possession. They know they can gain the zone. They're just kind of trying to find creative ways to get it past these forwards. And credit to them, they've played well defensively the last minute or so of this power play.
Here's Regan, a shot from the high slot, knocked away. He'll get it back though. He'll send it across to Lindahl, bottom of the left circle. Lindahl holding between the circle and the half wall. He'll work up left point. Slides it across. Here's Regan. He'll tee it up and fire a shot. That was blocked through traffic and the rebound. Cleared by Central Michigan with 41 to go on the penalty kill. Look out. Julian Johnson turns on the Jets, but he's not going to be able to beat the man coming back in Zachary Welsh. Good back check there for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Zufer cutting across that line. He'll work into the shot. He ripped it high. 27 to go in the man advantage for Notre Dame. Regan up the left point. He'll slide it down the wall. Behind the net, behind the net, Zufer taking to the boards. He gets it back behind the goal. We'll work it off the wall. Up there to Welsh at the right half wall. Down to Zufer. Back up to Welsh at the far side. Up top. Here's a shot through traffic and ripped high there by Stafford. Regan takes it and fires it down the ice. Clements hops out of the box. Central Michigan's killed off all 3 of the Notre Dame power plays today. Now a loose puck out in front. And what's the result? Notre Dame thinks they've scored, but Elijah Jones holds on to it. No signal from the referee, and it turns out it's a save by Elijah Jones.
Yep.
Good save by the freshman.
Loose puck in the crease after the initial shot attempt. Elijah Jones scooped that one up from the referee standpoint, and that leads to a stoppage. And, you know, one of the things that we talked about again was the puck possession time for Notre Dame. It's really allowed them to kind of wait and be patient more with it instead of just shooting it on Elijah Jones. And credit to him, he's had a little bit more poise in this one, and he's had to since he's had so many shots come his way already in this game.
Irish win the offensive zone draw, but quickly turn it over. Andrew Porzondik's outlet pass was intercepted and chopped back to the near side before it was finished in by Whittemire. 6:54 to go in period 2. Reagan Cleaves on the call for you with Devin Serra inside the broadcast booth here at Compton Family Ice Arena in South Bend, Indiana. Notre Dame looking for the series sweep over Central Michigan, winning 11-4 last night here at Compton. And they're up to a 3-0 lead here, more than halfway through period 2. Here's Julian Johnson chopping it down the length of the ice. Icing is going to be waved off as Hadley Stevenson pulling up, coming to the puck, and referees judged that he could have gotten to that puck in time. Here's Pizzuto back in his own end, bouncing puck through center. He caught Gilfillan over the line, loose puck behind the goal. Chasing it after it is Stafford. He threw it out in front, and Central Michigan will clear it out. Now a pass deflected ahead. Look out, here's a 2-on-0. Nadu out in front for Gibbs, and a great defensive play coming back was the alternate captain, Jay Lindahl.
Yeah, Lindahl saw it the whole way as they got back to the play. Isaac Gibbs is going to be on the back door and couldn't get the puck for the finishing ability.
Here's Pizzuto. His shot was deflected off the glass behind Elijah Jones. It's played to the near side. Central Michigan can't gain control of it. Up top. Here's Stafford. He'll tee it up and fire his shot. Blocked down in front. Another rebound. Pizzuto was denied by the left pad of Jones. Here's a shot from the right point. Blocked down in front. Rebound lays in the right circle. Austin Ritter turns and fires. It was blocked there by Pizzuto. Puck stays in the Central Michigan end. Lindahl exchanging there with Jumlick. Gibbs and Ritter back there for CMU. Central Michigan has been pinned in their own end for a bit. Now an outlet pass. That was tipped just past the red line there by Jay Nadeau.
Yeah, that's
negated
important.
the icing.
I was going to say that negated any icing attempt, and that allowed them to get fresh bodies on the ice, already tired.
Now Renzulian with speed, but a shot and it was blocked there by Elijah Jones. Knocked down to the Central Michigan end here to our left. Here's a pass, a shot saved by Nolan. Rebound, loose in front of Jones. They scramble for it. It's still loose. Hey, Irish get it, fire it. It was saved, and the Irish get back on it. Great flurry there for the Irish. They're trying to extend this lead to 4. Austin Ritter into the corner. About a minute and a half of zone time here for the Irish. They'll get it behind the net. Dominating here in the last couple of minutes for Notre Dame. They'll hold it in the corner. Here's Hopkins sending it down low. A shot from a sharp angle. And Jones was able to deflect that up and out of play with 4:09 to go in the second.
Quick shot leads to mayhem in front of the net, and Notre Dame's able to regain possession and continue the onslaught. Elijah Jones looking at a lot of points. He made about 5 or 6 key saves right there to prevent this from going up bigger than it already is in a 3-0 tilt. And right now, the defensive breakdown is apparent. They're just collapsing to the front of the net, having tired bodies, and aren't able to keep up with the defenders one-on-one and keep them to the outside. So that's what you have to what you have to do when you're tired is just collapse and hope you get a block in front.
Looking on a 3-on-2 for CMU. Porzondik out in front for Bottles, and he tried to do too much fancy work. And they lost the puck. Here's Connor Morgan out in front for Porzondik. He scores! Andrew Porzondik gets Central Michigan on the board. With 3:47 to go in the second, it's a brand new hockey game here in South Bend.
Great feed there from Connor Morgan over to Porzondik, right down Broadway in the slot, ready to take that wrister and put it past the goaltender Saw. That puts the Chippewas back now, just a 2-goal deficit, and a very important goal from a player that stepped up big. He opened the scoring last night against Notre Dame, and he opens the scoring once again for CMU in this one.
Andrew Porzondik, his second goal of the weekend, and 6th of the campaign. Yeah, beautiful one-timer in the slot. It was right along the ice, and I think Saw was expecting a little bit of a faster one-timer, but Porzondik didn't get a ton on it in the slot. And from the delayed reaction, he didn't know it was in until it was well past Saw.
Yeah, and that's just a key play because coming the other way, like we just said, they had the onslaught offensive presence from the Irish. They get a quick turnover coming the other way, and it leads to a rush that allows Connor Morgan to set up Andrew Porzondik. And that's just stuff that can change on a dime. And now that gives CMU just a little bit of spark in this game and make them give a sense that they're back in this one. And I feel it too from the broadcast stand.
Central Michigan, that's a key goal for them. Gets them back within 2. Here's a pass ahead, over the line, Zufer into the right corner, trying to work in front of Elijah Jones, and a shot, saving the rebound, is behind. Zufer works it up top, a shot by Stafford, was blocked and comes out to neutral ice. And Irish and Chippewas getting physical here.
Look at Brandon Clements getting involved physically, Reagan. And, last night the story was how whenever CMU would score, the Irish would answer quickly. They tried to do it right there, and Brandon Clements was there, but look out, it's still loose.
Loose puck out in front after the initial save by Jones was cleared out. Now look out, Hayden Flynn trying to come down the near side, but Stevenson beat him to it. Stevenson, one of the taller players on this small Irish team. They may be small, but they are fast. Here's an offside pass for the Irish.
Yeah, that was a lucky break. They had streaking down the left wing Tyler Wiedemeyer, and he would have had a wide open chance at a shot on Elijah Jones. And Reagan, just from first observation, we can just see how much more the neutral zone has opened up a bit. Now Central Michigan gets a key face-off. They have to win this, though. They haven't been good all weekend in the face-off circle.
Johnson to dig in for CMU with Gilfillan. Face-off is won by the Irish, and they get out over left wing. Here's Wiedemeyer. Wiedemeyer wrapped it around the boards. Elijah Jones tried to come out of his net to stop it. It skipped over his stick. 1:55 to go for Central Michigan here in period 2. Defending the net to our left, the Irish put a shot on, save, and the rebound. Jones is able to jam it, and a couple of great saves there by Elijah Jones, keeping his team in this one with 1:46 to go in period 2.
Once again, the freshman goaltender from Port Huron steps up big, and you know, the shots have come his way, and we expected that. We knew they'd be able to get a lot, these fast and mobile forwards for Notre Dame, but the thing is he's had the rebound control, Reagan. He's had the forwards in front to at least block it away and allow him to scoop it up and use their body to prevent Notre Dame from getting to those attacking areas. And man, you need this from a goaltender, and I feel like Elijah Jones has finally started to gain some confidence in this one.
Lindahl right point, slides it across for Stevenson. He'll tee it up, fire shot, save, rebound, loose in the slot. Jones came over to cut that angle off, and it was sent wide. 1:30 to go in the period. The Irish control, worked it up top for Lindahl, right point. Slides it across to Stevenson to the left point. Oh, work it down behind the goal. Wrapped around the boards, Connor Morgan jammed in the boards, and that's going to be a boarding penalty here once again.
Yep, another key boarding penalty, the same exact area that Bottles got boarded into earlier in this one. And this time going to the box for the Irish is going to be number 21 for them.
We'll get a number for you. It wasn't on their initial sheet on the ACHA website.
Nonetheless, a key power play, and now time to Reagan is, you've got some momentum in this one. You just had the most recent goal. Your goaltender has stepped up. This has to be the most efficient and hard-working forecheck that they have this entire game. Porzonik to dig in.
Power play for CMU, 0 for 3 tonight, trying to change that here in the closing minutes of period 2. Keelan Baker knocked down a pass, pinching down. Here's Kamara, good defensive work there to keep the puck on the offensive end. That one was tipped just by Kamara, and it'll go back to the Central Michigan line.
And they're playing one defender high here in Isaac Gibbs to prevent the Irish from getting any sort of breakout chance shorthanded.
Irish will hold back at their own end. Here's Jay Lindahl, the alternate captain, will turn and throw it back out to neutral ice, wasting some more time here. 40 seconds to go in period 2. Central Michigan on the power play for the rest of the second. They'll hold behind their net. Pass out through neutral ice intended for Keelan Baker. He got tied up, though, by Lindahl across the way in front of the Irish bench. Notre Dame turns and fires it in. Andrew Porzonik back there for CMU. Central Michigan hasn't been able to get much going on this power play, but look out. Here's Connor Morgan down right wing. He'll work across that line, chip it in behind Saw. Andrew Porzonik picks up the puck, tries the wraparound, denied by Saw. Loose puck out in front. Porzonik works and scores! With 4.5 seconds to go, Andrew Porzonik has his second of the night, and CMU is back within one.
How do you do? Porzonik tried to wrap it around, failed on the first attempt, picked up his own rebound as the puck was loose in the slot, and it leads to a CMU goal just like that. Folks, stay with us. They're not out of this one yet. What a forecheck to stay resilient on the power play, and that was their first forecheck opportunity on that power play.
Yes, and really first opportunity they've had on that power play, as Devin said, and with 4.5 seconds to go, that's pretty darn late in the period. Can't get much later than that.
Oh boy, are we going to have stuff to talk about in the intermission report,
This is one heck of a hockey game. Don't count Central Michigan out yet. They're down one heading into period 3. We'll recap that for you when we come back here on the second intermission report, brought to you by CMishIceHockey.com. Back with more in a moment here on CCHN. And we are back here inside Compton Family Ice Arena after one heck of a second period for Central Michigan. They started down 2-0, and the Irish extended the lead with 8:54 gone in period 2. Sheckman picked off a pass from Hayden Flynn at the blue line and worked in for the Irish before he picked the top corner past Elijah Jones to make it a 3-0 game for the Irish. But fear not, Central Michigan is back in this one with 2 goals from Andrew Porzonduk in the last 3 minutes of this hockey game. Porzonduk initially put CMU on the board with a pass from Connor Morgan from the right circle, found Porzonduk out in front, and he just ripped one along the ice past Vincent Sa to put CMU on the board at 16:13 of period 2. Andrew Porzonduk then capitalized on the power play for Central Michigan when it was number 21 who went off for a boarding for 2 minutes at the 8:50 mark. Central Michigan looked like they were going to head into period 2 with a man advantage, but with 4.5 seconds to go in the period, Andrew Porzonduk wrapped around the net with the puck, tried to stuff it on the near side past Vincent Sa, but he was denied by the left pad of the netminder for Notre Dame. Porzonduk, though, was not deterred. He picked up the loose puck at the side of the net, worked into the slot, and picked the top near corner on Sa, who was down and out, and that brought Central Michigan back within 1 here as we head into period 3. Central Michigan they're almost even with Notre Dame shots-wise in this second period. 9-10 shots favor the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That brings the 2-period total to 27-20. So CMU still being outshot by 7, but they are back in this. They carry the momentum into the locker room. That atmosphere inside that locker room's got to be very fun right now for CMU. You can feel it. You can see on the bench they're back in this hockey game, and that could be just the spark Central needs to get this series split here at Compton Family Ice Arena. We'll have that and much more coming up after this. Stay with us. It's going to be one whale of a third period if the second period is any predictor. We'll be right back here from Compton. 3-2. Notre Dame leads it after 40 minutes. Reagan Cleaves and Devin Sarah back here in Compton Family Ice Arena. Both teams have taken the ice here for period number 3. Central Michigan getting 2 goals in the final 4 minutes here for CMU. Don't go anywhere. This should be one heck of a period number 3.
Yeah, Reagan, before that intermission report, Central Michigan scores 2 goals from Andrew Porzanic to get them back into this one. I talked to head coach Tyler Cataline during the intermission report and asked him what he told his hockey team, and he said to them, quote, just relax and play the 20 minutes. Stop worrying about the game overall. You were down in this one early at 3-0, and it was all Notre Dame. It has been still in the first 2 periods, but it's a brand new game. It's a third period. They're down by 1. They have to play a full 20 minutes here if they want to see victory.
It was a tough game last night for Central Michigan, and they've brought themselves back within 1 as the puck is dropped. We are underway in period 3 here from Compton Family Ice Arena. Austin Ritter moves up on the left wing to Andrew Porzanic. He's got 2 goals tonight. Connor Morgan steps around and check after dumping the puck into the offensive end. He'll speed in after it. The Irish pick up the loose puck and dump it into the offensive end. It hit a linesman, and Kurowski will pick it up right corner. Out in front, trying to find Renzulli, and he couldn't connect. Loose puck kept into the left point. Look out, Renzulli right out in front. Was denied. Puck is stolen away. Austin Ritter does a good job to knock the puck away from Kurowski. 45 seconds gone in period number 3. The puck is deflected up and out by Central Michigan.
Yeah, you know, this has been the story all night long. For just tuning in, Central Michigan's been dominated in puck possession. Notre Dame's really just had their will imposing in the offensive zone. They've created chances on Elijah Jones where he's had to step up major and make not only initial saves but pick up the rebounds and loose change, and he's done that so far steadily in that second period. Once again, Notre Dame right now relentless in the first minute here, already a good couple chances and looks.
Ever since Elijah Jones let up that third goal, 8:54 into period 2. He has been solid in net for Central Michigan. Look out, a shot right off the draw there by Hopkins, whistled wide.
And it's really been a test of mental fortitude, Reagan. I mean, especially last night after he came in, replacing Lauren Jones when it got to 7-2 the score. Right now, I've been absolutely impressed with the freshman's work.
Now look out, here's Isaac Gibbs with speed on the line. Tried to sidestep a check there from Seamus Regan, and it was knocked away. Puck comes back out to neutralize Charlie Hayes. Turns on the Jets to get back there defensively for CMU.
And one thing, sorry, Reagan. One thing I hope you touched on in that intermission report was the Central CMU, when they get the puck possession, they have to have much more control with it. That's something they lacked when they would get into the offensive zone, is that control.
Puck on the near side. Charlie Hayes was able to knock it away. Puck is free in the far corner. The CMU end right in front. Look out, trying to stuff it on the short side. There was Zachary Welsh. She couldn't get an opportunity. Now Isaac Gibbs outlet pass to Brandon Clements. Clements lost the puck over the line. Still trying to get the puck back, and he does. Puck kept in the line. Here's Johnson left wing. Johnson had the puck poked away from him, and Keelan Baker swoops in to knock the puck away from John Nolan, who was trying to get up ice for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Clements tried to give the one touch to Johnson, and he did that because he was really just tired after trying to get back. If he moves close to that, he might have a chance for a one-timer there, but goes off to the bench for a change.
Icing waved off as Braden Keel misplayed the puck and neutralized. He gets it back behind the goal to the near side. He gets tied up with Gilfillan. Not sure how that's not a hooking penalty on Braden Kill. Puck comes free. Look out, the Irish feed it out in front, trying to get the backdoor feed to Wiedemeyer. That didn't work. Here comes Julian Johnson up right wing. Okay, and the red line had head off for a change. He was dead tired as he goes to the bench.
Yeah, that's been the story, Reagan. They've had injured forwards out of this game with scratches, so they've had to run about a 2.5, 3-line crew this entire weekend series, and it's just led to them being tired out on the ice. And credit where credit's due, they've kept it close still.
Here's Connor Morgan, crunched along the boards. Porzanic there to pick up a loose change for the maroon and gold. He batted it out in front, and Notre Dame intercepted and moved it out through center. Camara lost the puck. He'll get it back. Leave it ahead to Nathan Bottles. Touch pass ahead to Porzanic. He'll gain the red line and dump it into the opposite corner, left side to right. Morgan picked up a loose puck at the right point. He'll work down into the corner. Sharp angle shot was blocked. Bottles gets it behind the net for CMU. Bottles holds, dropped it back for Morgan behind the net.
Porzanic's there.
Morgan tried to find Porzanic back door, didn't work. Here's Morgan up the left point. Miscommunication. Look out. The Irish may have a rush the other way. Good work, though, by Christopher Martin to work the puck free and back to neutral ice.
You know, Reagan, they capitalized a lot more recently on the turnovers from the Irish, especially when they've been in their own zone. Look out.
Here's Clements from the point. A shot, and saw it all the way. With 15:56 to go in period 3.
The important thing to note, Reagan, is that even though they've been dominated in this game in puck possession, it doesn't matter how or when. If they can get that quick turnover and that quick shot on net, it allows for a face-off opportunity, which creates scoring chances. That's what they have to capitalize on now. It's a brand new hockey game in the minds of this CMU team.
Certainly 2 goals in a matter of a couple of minutes at the tail end of period 2, both from Andrew Porzondik. Has got CMU right back in this one. Here's Isaac Gibbs. Steps over the line. Toe drag past the defense and let a shot on goal go. It was relatively soft, and Andrew Siraki, it's good to see him back. Took a slash to the hands earlier in this game in the second period. Was told he might not come back for the period number 3, but good to see him back out on the ice for CMU.
And it's one of those things where when people are short, even though guys are banged up that are out there, Reagan, they've had to stay in this hockey game. And credit where credit's due, they've stayed resilient. And they've, even though taken the physical beating, they've stayed in the hockey game and just give themselves the chance still in this one to play.
At this point, it's a who's got the most endurance. Look out. Renzulli dancing in on goal. Jones made the save, holding that right post tight. Good job for the freshman netminder. Clements took his man down across the way. Lindahl on the near side. Lindahl let a shot go. It caromed off the end board. Took an odd hop out in front. Jones batted it to the corner. Isaac Gibbs, stretch pass out to neutral ice. Went off of Jay Nadeau, and the Irish will dump it back in. Charlie Hayes, but on the near side, slaps it across to Andrew Siraki. It was tipped out to neutral ice. Jay Nadeau takes it there before going off for a line change and dumping it in.
Much better control there from CMU. They didn't panic in their own zone. They didn't let the Irish pressure them. They made a bunch of one-touch passes that allowed them to clear the zone, and now look, they have a chance in the offensive end.
Here's Johnson trying to get past the defense. Loose puck out in front. Kiel will hold it left point. Kiel working down, throwing it out in front. Nobody home. Here's Kamara high slot. Kamara lets a wrist shot go through. Traffic buck down in front, and the Irish will rush left to right here. Through neutral ice, Seamus Regan lost the puck at neutral ice, trying to joust for it as he's down on the ice. Puck comes to the near side. Kiel chops at it through neutral ice, and it's taken back, and the Irish dump it in. Kiel, his clearing attempt was blocked, and it comes right in front of us here in the broadcast booth. Camaro rims it around the boards. Hayden Flynn beating the puck across the way. It's pulled out of there by Kimmel. Kimmel a shot along the ice, blocked there by Kilb, and the Chippewas pitchfork that down the ice. Icing is going to be waved off.
And that allows them to get fresh bodies out there and keep on the pressure. This is the most puck possession I think we've seen the Chippewas have since really the first period of last night, Reagan. For 5.5 games, periods, it's been all Irish. But now you can slowly see the confidence and momentum building for Central.
Here's Bottles over the line, battling for that puck as he enters the zone. Will back it up to Ritter left point. Ritter lost control of it, and it slipped over the blue line, and I'll just dump it in as the Irish were forechecking. Good intercept by Nathan Bottles at neutral ice. Moved it ahead to Porzondik. He's got 2 goals tonight, works into the circle, feeding it out in front. And Bottles wasn't home. Martin will step into it from the right point. Blocked. He gets it back, though. Up top for Bottles. Bottles slides it over to Porzondik. Wrist shot on goal, and Saw makes the save. Porzondik. And the Chippewas buzzing in the offensive zone with 12:34 to go in the third.
Great forecheck there for Central, and a good shot by Andrew Porzondik looking for the hat trick in this one. But good defensive play from Notre Dame as well. They had a couple of block shots in front there. Vincent saw Porzondik shot the whole way and made that one for the glove stop and his chest protector. You know, Notre Dame, credit where it's due. They have played well defensively as of late and kept the Chippewas from finding the back of the net still in this third period.
Oh, look out, a rush here for the Irish if they can get the loose puck, but Charlie Hayes beat his man to the puck and was able to stymie that play. Here's Isaac Gibbs over the line left side, caught an edge, and he goes down. Irish take the puck and go back the other way. Clemens took his man down. Rink wide feed off the boards to Nadeau. Nadeau couldn't get to the loose puck, and it's coughed up. And across the way, it's Hopkins.
SAMU is back to being just one step behind getting to the play. Isaac Gibbs loses an edge, and then Jay Nadeau fans on a pass. That's something that, man, they're so close but just so far from getting it to the back of the net.
Oh, look out. Jay Nadeau tried to clear the puck, but he got too much air under it and lifted it out with 11:46 to go here in period 2. Fans, stay with us for the rest of the weekend here on CCHN as the women's D2 Chippewas have their weekend series against Northern Michigan. First game will be tonight at 6 and tomorrow at 1 p.m. Derek Steele and Matt Ryder will have the call for you right here on CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey. Now look out, the Irish move it out in front, and a great save by Jones. Rebound, still loose in front of that crease, and Clements and Gibbs can't get it out. Another near side, Lindahl, a shot from the point. That was deflected right out in front of Jones.
What poise from the young goaltender, making the kick save with the left pad.
Gibbs took his man down, and that's going to draw a penalty. Hooking penalty. The call on Isaac Gibbs. With 11:19 to go here in the third, Chippewas are going to head back on the penalty kill. They've been pretty good tonight. They'll have another test.
Yeah, this penalty kill group ranked third in the nation so far, coming into this weekend with a 94% success rate. They gave up 2 power play goals last night, which dropped their percentage down, but this has been the shining point of this team through a tough stretch of games. Their penalty kill has been the marquee of what's been good. They've got Porzanic, Christopher Martin, Sam Camara, and then digging it at the line for them, Connor Morgan.
Now the Irish trying to extend their lead here on the power play. In the corner, Renzulli. Looking for a pass. He's got it in the left circle. Throws it down low for Wiedemeyer. Wiedemeyer back up to Renzulli in the circle. He'll fire a shot. That was deflected right off of his blade and hopped to the near corner. Here's Nolan off the boards to Hopkins. Hopkins played it down the wall to the near side for Kurowski. Kurowski has a goal tonight, feeds it across for Renzulli out in front, and it deflected off at Chris Martin and goes out to neutral ice.
Good defensive plays there from Sam Camara and Christopher Martin, keeping the passing lanes disrupted and not allowing Notre Dame to get to those high percentage shot areas and create chaos for Elijah Jones.
75 seconds to go in the power play. Look out, Andrew Porzanic's got a shorthanded opportunity. He goes wide left into the offensive end. Oh, let a shot, Bengal shot going. He ripped it high. Keelan Baker, though, keeps it in at the point. Good penalty killing here by Central Michigan as they work the puck back to their own defensive line. Siraki plays it to Hayes with 55 to go in the Gibbs penalty.
And when you need leadership most at the toughest times, they step up. Keelan Baker and Andrew Porzanic killing off time. Those are the two you have to watch in this period to make some big plays for CMU.
Halfway through period number 3, CMU is down by 1 here to Notre Dame. Over the line, Welsh drops it back for Zufer. Zufer works it down the wall to the captain Welsh on the near side. Welsh moves it up top for Stafford, near side to Welsh. Across his pass was intercepted, and Keelan Baker moves it out. Look out, Nathan Bottles diving after the loose puck. He gets it in neutral ice and will pin it there with a quarter of a minute to go. Loose puck, though, bounces into the Irish hands.
Great hustle from the transfer from Arcadia University, stepping up big in the biggest moment.
Now Nathan Bottles intercepts a pass, plays it back for Siraki. His pass through neutral ice was knocked away, and Bottles will take it as Gibbs hops out of the box. Central Michigan perfect on 4 penalty kills here tonight.
And that's going to give them even more momentum. Now that you've killed off another penalty here, Isaac Gibbs is going to speed fast. He's got a ton of rest from that penalty.
Here's Camara, picking up the loose puck in his own right wing circle. He'll play it off the high glass and out. Clements batted it across to Isaac Gibbs, who left it there for Jay Nadeau, who got clipped up high. Not sure why that wasn't a hooking penalty as he went into the boards near side. Camara kept it in, fires it on goal. Clements gets it. Oh, he tried to pick the far side. There was just a little bit of room, but he missed wide. 8:41 to go in period 3. CMU down by 1. Trying to come back against the Irish, a team who dominated them last night. Over the line, here come the Irish, putting on the brakes. Here's Kimmel near side. Kimmel turns and wraps it down the boards for Wiedemeyer near side. Wiedemeyer left it off for Lindahl. He'll play it around behind the net, catching his man Kimmel across the way. Kimmel works it up top. It hopped over the stick there of Stevenson. The Chippewas catch a break.
And you can tell even more that the momentum shifted. They're staying with their men. They're staying poised down low, and they're just waiting for the Irish to make mistakes.
Here's Pizzuto. Rims it around the boards. Braden Kiel puts on the brakes behind the goal. Pressured there by Schmelk. Irish keeping it at the point. A shot off the end boards. Took an odd carom out on Elijah Jones. Julian Johnson ties up his man in the corner. His clearing attempt was knocked down there by Schmelk. Schmelik. Oh, work it down into the corner. Christopher Martin tried to work it free. Julian Johnson right in front of us, battling there with Schmelik. It was worked free to Clements, and Chippewas will move out here.
Julian
Look out.
Johnson
Oh, they gave it away.
They'll
work in, and a shot saved by Jones, and he couldn't corral the rebound. That would have been a much-needed stoppage of play for Central Michigan, but they're pinned inside their own zone.
Man, Julian Johnson at the near side here got away with a high stick clearly, and Elijah Jones just couldn't reach out. He tried to deflect it with his stick into his glove, and it just was too far away from him, but they'll get fresh bodies anyway.
Central Michigan finally able to get fresh bodies on the ice. Bouncing puck chopped at by Johnson, but it's onto the stick of Stevenson. Oh, feed it out in front for Pizzuto. Pizzuto down into the circle, backhands out in front, and he was trying to catch his man on the back door in Kurowski, but it wouldn't work.
No whistle in the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Reagan.
Very fast-moving third period here as Central Michigan and the Irish finally back on some even playing terms after a dominating last half of the first period last night and all the way in to the first 2 periods of this game. Austin Ritter puts it through center ice. Andrew Porzondik knocks it down ahead to Connor Morgan. Connor Morgan pulls up in the circle. He's trying to find a pass, but it was knocked away from him. Regan in the corner. Getting it up top, intercepted there by Nathan Bottles. The Irish, though, working away from the Central Michigan forward and up left wing. Here's Renzulli, dances around the defense, works it, and he scores! Ryan Renzulli put it past Elijah Jones, and the Irish strike here in the third period. They're up by 2 with 6:14 to go.
Renzulli, one of our players to watch, who's had the hot hand this weekend, streaks in the left wing, past the left circle, and gets it past Elijah Jones. And with 6:14 to go, that seems like a backbreaker, but this period has been much better in CMU's favor. Notre Dame gets a quick turnover. They get through the neutral zone and into the attacking area, and Renzulli, with his finishing ability, puts them back up by 2 scores.
It's a shot that Elijah Jones was just a little bit off his angle in the left wing circle. Central Michigan. Here come the Irish over the line. Across the way, they'll hold back at the neutral ice. 5:53 to go in period number 3. It's rimmed around the boards by Notre Dame. Central Michigan trying to get back in this one. The Irish had a dominating period of offensive control. That led to a goal by Ryan Renzulli to put them up now 2. This will go for icing against the Irish.
Yeah, and for Elijah Jones, that's going to feel pretty demoralizing for a young goaltender, but he's played so much better in this third period than we saw in the first and second. He got confident, he looked poised, he looked fast, and just a back-breaking goal that really hasn't set the tone for what the period's been. This has been CMU's best period this entire weekend series, Reagan, and it's something that they can build momentum off. This game is still not over. 5 minutes and 30 to go. There's a lot that can happen in that time.
Here's a shot right off the draw. Speaking of anything can happen, that was right on Sa, and he's able to hold, and the Irish will get a fresh set of D after they were denied the opportunity to change on that icing.
And if you're CMU, you can't change things up now. You can be a little bit more aggressive, put the forwards down low, but you have to continue what you've been doing already.
Here's Porzondik, scores! Throw the hats onto the ice. Andrew Porzondik has scored 3 goals for Central Michigan, and they are right back in it with 5:19 to go.
He was waiting right there in the slot area to receive that feed. Andrew Porzondik says, this game's not done yet, I'll do it myself. The hat trick and 4 goals this weekend series. Porzondik, the senior from Macomb, Michigan, steps up when the lights shine brightest. What a goal by the senior.
Andrew Porzondik just ripped that by Saha, and CMU right back in this hockey game.
Elijah Jones going to take no chances with that. And now that's important, Reagan, because off that face-off draw, he had a wide-open man just waiting right there in the slot. Notre Dame was picky. They were puck-watching the entire time. When you spend all of your defensive zone time watching the puck, you miss guys right there in those high-percentage shot areas, and Andrew Porzadik didn't miss and twice and makes this one within one once again.
Wendell's shot was deflected just wide of Elijah Jones, and puck is bouncing around in the Central Michigan, and here's Nathan Bottles. Nathan Bottles has some potential as he works around the outside. He's wanting a pass out in front, and he does. Connor Morgan fires save, and the rebound comes back out to Kilb. Kilb chopping at the puck out in front, and the Irish center the length of the ice. Elijah Jones played it just to the side of the net, and that negated the icing.
Yeah, that would have been much needed. Look out.
Now Renzulli works in, and Jones makes the save, making up for that mental mishap there on that potential icing with a key save on Ryan Renzulli.
Yeah, that's just a young goaltender that feels the pressure. He knows that he has to make key stops now that it's once again in reach for CMU. But this faceoff is crucial. Julian Johnson has to dig in hard here, and if he doesn't win it, block the shot.
Here's Stevenson to the left point. His shot deflected up and out of play. It's going to stay in the zone.
And
With that,
they've played a lot better in their own faceoff circles in this last 10 minutes or so. They've allowed only 2 forecheck opportunities off faceoffs, and right now they get another chance at it, but again they lost the draw.
Welsh wins it cleanly. A shot from the high slot, deflected multiple times before it comes to the near side. Batted behind the net. Zuffer trying to work it out in front. Tries to stop it to the near side, and chaos reigns supreme at the side of the net. And Gibbs takes his man down, and he's going at it there with number 16 for the Irish, Calvin Grass.
Yeah, and Elijah Jones, gosh, he had to almost take off his blocker, Reagan, just to pick that puck up. He saw that it was loose in front. They tried to jam away at the corner, and the Irish not able to capitalize on that one. Elijah Jones just taking the beating, but his team's right there. Isaac Gibbs is not going to let his players whack away at his young goaltender like that. And he takes down Calvin Grass, and it's heating up, folks, with 4:14 to go in this third period. Just a 1-3-4 hockey game. One-score game.
We've got the go-ahead from the official at center ice, Johnson to dig in. And he ties up his man right off the face-off. Oh, he's going to draw a penalty. Oh, look out. Oh, Johnson just fell over his man, Hopkins, and probably going to be a cross-check on Johnson.
Damn it, and that's a tough play to make for a young player that's not exactly playing like he needs to in the biggest moments, that you cannot take penalties in the last 5 minutes in a one-goal game like this. Julian Johnson with a tough cross-check penalty, frustrated after that face-off.
It's going to be a roughing penalty on Julian Johnson, and this is a must-kill penalty for Central Michigan. 4:09 to go here in period 3.
Yeah, now Tyler Cataline is telling his players, hey, be smart right here. You have to kill off this penalty. As we mentioned, they're one of the best in the country at killing penalties, but it's one of these where they're going to have to turn some defense into offense quick.
They're 4 for 4 today on the PK, trying to make it 5 for 5. Clock is running with 4 minutes to go. Welsh dumps it down for Zuffer behind the net. Up to the near side. Welsh stick handles in front, and a shot and a save. Oh,
and that's a little bit extracurricular, but no, he went down to the ice after Hayes came in. It looked like a little bit of a soft shove, in my opinion, but they're going to send him anyway.
That's ridiculous. Zuffer needs to get an Academy Award for diving.
Yeah, Charlie Hayes coming in, just trying to defend his goaltender after the play ended, and the referees are going to call Charlie Hayes to the box. That's another tough penalty that's going to put now the Irish on a 5-on-3 with 3:54, and when that ends, that is going to nearly run out the clock with both the penalties running in that time. Reagan not happy, obviously, with the diving call. I mean, I would agree. It is a little bit of a soft play, but in a late game like this, you have to do stuff like that.
Zuffer's been doing that all weekend.
You have to do stuff like that late in this game. You cannot get chippy at all.
And Charlie Hayes just came in, put the stick on Zuffer, and the referees called the penalty, and should have been unsportsmanlike on Zuffer. Up top, Stafford throws it down low. A must-kill 5-on-3 for CMU here. It goes without saying. Here's Zuffer up top for Welsh. High slot. Stafford works in. He ripped it wide. Rebound, side of the net. and Jones comes over to the post and makes the save.
Stretching the butterfly, doing the splits. Elijah Jones has to do it all right here, and he's going to be already, as it is, backed up. The Irish haven't really had their forecheck buzzing like they did earlier in this hockey game, but right now they get a chance to set up some looks. They're going to send their second line back out here. The forward groups at the right circle face-off dot, and if you're CMU, you just have to chase the puck, look for a block in front, and find any chance you can get to clear this away.
Isaac Gibbs can't win the face-off. Here's Lindahl, slides it across to the left point. Nolan back to Lindahl, right point. Hold across to Lindahl, top of the left. Nolan, top of the left circle. Pass down low, almost hit the referee, and the Chippewas are able to get it out. Look out, Nathan Bottles turning on the Jets. Will not be able to get to it as Lindahl comes back for the Irish.
And that's a smart pressure by Nathan Bottles. He knows he can't let the Irish reset and get into the zone.
Here's Renzulli in the circle, slides it across near side to Hopkins. Will chase it into the corner. Hopkins works it up top for Lindahl, right point, slides it across there to Nolan. Back to Lindahl in the slot. We'll send it down low for Hopkins. Hopkins trying to go to the back door. He does, but no shot. And another opportunity. That one was sent wide. Now they get it out in front. Lindahl works in, and a shot blocked away by Jones. He's lost his goal pedal across the way. Helping out his goaltender there was Martin to get it back. Now look out, a shot, save the rebound, loose out in front of Jones, and they score! 5-3, the Irish get a goal on the power play, and Isaac Gibbs not happy with Hopkins after the goal. Hopkins is going to be sent off here along with Renzulli. So though the Irish have brought themselves another goal, they'll go sit in the box. Central Michigan collapses on the penalty kill there. Timeout is going to be for Central Michigan.
Yeah, relentless pressure on Elijah Jones. As we mentioned, they tried to get a block in front. Christopher Martin got the paddle back to Elijah Jones after he made a key stick save, but it just stays loose in the slot area, and they jam away at it, and it goes through Elijah Jones' 5-hole slowly, and they just pressure that with their relentless forecheck to get it into the back of the net. And that's something where now a back-breaking goal, once again, after CMU just got themselves back in it with Andrew Porzondik's hat trick. And really that was caused because of the bad penalties taken by Julian Johnson and Charlie Hayes late in that one to result in the 5-on-3. And this is one that CMU is going to look at probably in the last 2 and 26 and go, okay, we have to spread the ice. We have to push it up to the tempo. And we'll check if the goalie gets pulled at any point during this. But it's going to be causing coincidental penalties towards the Irish. So this could result in a power play opportunity for CMU. We're going to have to see what the results are. They're gathered at the penalty stand right currently with assistant captain Christopher Martin to settle the disputes.
Yeah, so the penalties assessed are to Hopkins and Renzulli at the 17:34 mark. That'll put Central Michigan, after Hayes gets out of the box, on a power play for the next 127, a 5-on-3. They've got an opportunity, and right now, we'll see. They haven't put the goal up on the board, but my guess is it was a goal.
They might be talking about how in front of the net, Elijah Jones, when he was in the crease area, saw a slight push from Hopkins. I don't think it was anything to rally for a negated goal call, but we're going to find out right now.
Still don't have.
They're still got it at the scoring stand, so they might not be calling this one. Are we going to see a review?
It is going to be a goal because they're having the puck drop at neutral ice.
So the goal will stand in that one. And that's really what they're talking about is, did Elijah Jones get pushed over into his own crease? Obviously not the call. Elijah not happy with it on this end. But now if you're CMU, you get the power play opportunity, Reagan. You got to muster something of it. We saw the last night how the Irish scored 2 goals in less than 30 seconds. CMU, there's no reason to believe they can't do that with how well they've played in this third period.
So it's 5-3 with 2:26 to go. Central Michigan, it has a 4-on-3 power play for the next 29 seconds. It'll then turn into a 5-on-3 once Charlie Hayes gets out of the box. Up the left wing, here's Porzondik into the corner. Hole. Porzondik looking for a pass behind the net, finds Martin, will work in, score! Power play goal! Christopher Martin brings Central Michigan back within one with 2:06 to go.
What a feed from behind Porzonik to Christopher Martin. He's done it all. 4-point night unofficially for Andrew Porzonik, and Christopher Martin with the beautiful finish. That's been an area that Sauce had trouble with all night long on the right slot area next to the right circle, and Christopher Martin makes no mistake right there and still gives his team life. And guess what? They're still going to have the power play coming up here after the penalty assessed
It'll
to
be
Hopkins.
13 seconds of a 5-on-4. Or of a 4-on-4, and then we will have an extended amount of time for CMU on the power play.
And boy, what resilience, eh? Get up the ice quickly, move into the offensive zone, and guess what? They set up Christopher Martin on the back door. Here's Isaac Gibbs.
Isaac Gibbs down into the corner. He's taken down Charlie Hayes out of the box. CMU now on the power play. This will go up and out of play off of Notre Dame. They will not be allowed to change lines.
Now 2 power play goals for CMU tonight, and if you're thinking of a player to go with, I'd like to see them get that top line back out there. They do have Porzonik with the personnel, Keelan Baker. They're going to send out Nathan Bottle, so this is the personnel you want on the ice now, and it looks like they're going to send Elijah Jones to the box.
So Elijah Jones comes off for the extra attacker for Central Michigan. Under 2 minutes to play, 1:48 to go in period 3. Net empty right in front of us here. Chippewas dig in. Martin trying to work the puck down the ice. The Irish battle for it. It comes loose to the near side. Nathan Bottles holds in the corner. Up top for Martin, far point. Down the wall for Bottles. Hold, 1:06 to go. In the power play, 90 seconds to go in the period. Here they feed it out in front, loose puck. Baker turns and fires it wide. Nato on the near side, picks it up though for CMU. Up to the left point, Hayes. Hayes holds it. Works into the circle, a shot, he ripped it high and wide. Porzondik's fed it out in front, Baker scores! Keelan Baker! Central Michigan has come all the way back, and we are tied!
What a goal, puck loose in front. That was an intentional miss by Charlie Hayes. Send it off the end board, put the puck in front, and someone bangs away at it, and it's Keelan Baker. Folks, what did we tell you? Anything can happen. They were down 3-0 early in this hockey game, and they came all the way back. It's tied, folks, with 1:11 to go in the third.
We told you not to go. It's been a whale of a third period. There have been 5 goals in a matter of 5 minutes here. The last 6 minutes of this period, and we've still got time.
Central Michigan playing their best period of hockey this entire weekend series. Reagan, Andrew Porzonik with 4 points on the night, and Keelan Baker right there stepping up. Those were the players we told y'all to watch in this third period, and they did just what we expected.
Now the Irish working down in the corner. Here's David Kimmel. That's John Nolan tied up in the corner. Chippewas work it free. Andrew Siraki will charge up ice. Chippewas right to left with 38 seconds to go in the period. It comes out. The Irish feed it out in front. Over the line is Kurowski. Got knocked down. Puck comes out, and Isaac Gibbs chases after it. Puck free at neutral ice. Over the line. Here's Hopkins. Hopkins trying to feed it out in front. Couldn't find anybody in a cream sweater. Connor Morgan takes it, dumps it down the ice. Icing's going to be waved off with 1/4 minute to go. Chippewas have come roaring back. 10 seconds to go in regulation. Puck is free at neutral ice. 7 seconds to go. It goes into the offensive end for CMU. It comes back out to neutral ice. And folks, we are headed to overtime. Central Michigan with 2 power play goals in the final 3 minutes of play. We'll step aside. Stay with us. Don't go away. Overtime coming back right after this. Period number 3 has ended. Central Michigan has come all the way back from what was a 3-goal deficit. And in the final 2 minutes, they tied it here at Compton Family Ice Arena. And now we're into sudden death overtime. It will be 3-on-3 here between the Irish and the Chippewas. Chippewas will defend the goal to our left. Irish, the goal right in front of us. 5 minutes in period number 4, and we are underway. We apologize for the fact that our scoreboard says period number 3. We were underprepared for overtime.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the way this weekend series was looking yesterday, we didn't expect that.
Welsh over the line for Stafford. He fires a shot off the mask of Jones and out of play.
What an opportunity by the Central Michigan. If you're just tuning in, yesterday they were routed, Reagan, 11-4 in their first matchup. Tonight they were down 3-0 early in this game. Andrew Porzondek put them back within 1 with 2 key goals, finished the hat trick with the 3rd goal to tie it up, and then it was, as we mentioned, Irish scoring 2 key goals on the power play, one of them after penalties assessed to Julian Johnson and Charlie Hayes, but CMU didn't give up. They got a power play back after that, and they scored 2 key goals
here's
to keep
Connor
it in.
Morgan. Morgan working out in front, lost the puck as he got taken down from behind. Austin Whaley wanting a penalty from the CMU bench, not going to get one. Now look out, there's a 2-on-1 Welsh on the left side. Welsh will cut over the line, working into the shot. Good defensive work there by Charlie Hayes to block that one. 50 seconds gone in overtime. An errant pass for the Irish comes out to neutralize. 4:04 to go in period 3.
And now if you're CMU, you just have to stand to your wits. The Irish have been good on the forecheck, but they've been struggling as of late in the 3rd period.
Lindahl at the right point. Down low. Here's Renzulli. Renzulli circles. Looking for a man up top. He's got him. Slides it across. Back to Lindahl right point. Lindahl taken down. He still has the puck. Turns and rims it down low. Charlie Hayes going after it for CMU. Will feed it out in front for the Irish. That was a golden opportunity. Nobody home though. Look out. Puck free in the slot. Chippewas looking to come away with it. They do. Up right wing. Here's Isaac Gibbs across that line. He'll let a shot go. He was dead tired as he let that shot go, and he'll go off.
Yep, but look out. Here's Jay Nadeau.
Jay Nadeau working the puck free. He's got a man. Here's Christopher Martin. Martin holds. Wrist shot. Oh, he just sent it high. 2 minutes gone in overtime. Now look out. Andrew Porzondek jamming away at the puck on the near side. Saw miscommunication there with Jay Lindahl of a stoppage of play.
If you're CMU here on this play, you're looking for a backdoor feed to Porzondek or Nadeau. Nadeau's been manning the forecheck group all night long with his position. Porzondek has to dig in here to win this draw and get it back to his defenseman, Christopher Martin.
Porzondek to dig in. Can't win the draw. Irish have been phenomenal on the face-off circles today. Look out, here's Kurowski down the right wing. Kurowski fed it out in front, loose puck in front of Jones, and a penalty is going to come up here on CMU. And it's going to be a hooking penalty, and rightfully so, on Andrew Porzondek. He's going to head to the penalty box.
Yep.
So the Irish on the power play.
Porzondek was trailing the play from behind after he lost the face-off. They were able to get it to the end boards and get a puck in front, and Porzondek just had to reach his stick in front there, and it leads to a penalty for the Chippewas. And really, for the next 2 minutes now, they're going to have some stellar game management to kill off this one.
The Irish are 1 for 6 on the man advantage today. It's 4-on-3. They've got it up top. Stafford. He'll let a shot go. Save by Jones.
Elijah Jones, what poise from the young goaltender, making only his 2nd career start as a CMU Chippewa. He pitched a 5-0 shutout against Lake Superior State a couple of weeks ago. And right now, in the biggest moment, Elijah Jones will have to make his case.
Now Kamara couldn't find the puck in his skates after the face-off, and the Irish pick up control. Welsh down in the left corner, around the outside of the circle, drops it low for Zufert. Zufert behind the net, looking for a pass in the right wing corner. He's got Stafford up at the right point. Stafford, he'll walk the line, drop it down to Zufert on the right half wall. Zufert down low. He's got a man at the side of the net, feeding it out in front. Shot, save, and Jones somehow keeps it out.
Are you kidding me? Elijah Jones spreading the butterfly down on the ice still. The referees are gathering in front to look at him. He's still there, laying there. The young goaltender from Port Huron making some crucial saves here in overtime. And he's been absolutely perfect nearly in this third period. The previous period, he's still down on the ice currently. Came in late in the game yesterday for Lauren Jones after he conceded 7. And the young goaltender looks like he'll get up on his feet and brush that one off. Good to see that.
Central Michigan fans, including alumni, Brennan Martin on their feet here at Compton Family Ice Arena for that save from the freshman netminder. There'll be a draw to his right here, 1:22 to go in the power play for Notre Dame. Welsh in the left circle. Oh, worked in. Shot saved by Jones. Rebound loose out in front. And the Chippewas clear with 2 minutes to go in overtime.
And that's good rebound control there by Isaac Gibbs to clear it the length of the ice. That's something they struggled with early in this hockey game, not helping out the young goaltender, but they started to do that as of late.
Puck free just inside the left point of the CMU end. Isaac Gibbs digging in for it for the maroon and gold. He can't get it. Here's Welsh dropping it off there for Stafford. He'll dangle into the circle, a shot, and Jones makes the save, drawing more applause from the maroon and gold fans.
4 key saves now. With 50 seconds in this power play, you have to be thinking about winning a faceoff. CMU has been dominating the faceoff circle this entire weekend, and somebody has to dig in hard here and get this puck so they can clear it the length of the ice, because if they stay out of the ice for too long, they're going to have tired bodies, and it'll leave a man out for a backdoor chance.
And there is a long change here in overtime, something we usually don't see during regular play, but it is a long change here in overtime. Here's Regan high slot, let a shot go, deflected just wide. Down into the corner, Renzulli on the near side. Renzulli, 39 to go in the power play. Up top for Regan. Regan holds it across to Hopkins. Hopkins feeding it down low. Took the carom off the end boards. Behind the net across the way. It's Kimmel. Kimmel chopped at the puck. He'll get it back in the corner. 24 to go. Up top for Regan. Regan. Oh, let a wrist shot go. Jones didn't see it in the rebound. And a great save of the post.
Oh my goodness. He got across for the second chance opportunity.
Here's Kurowski in the right circle. Trying to feed it out in front. Bouncing puck to the near side for Kurowski. Down the wall, under a minute to go in overtime. Here's a shot, they score! Kurowski from the bottom of the left circle, and Notre Dame has fended off the Central Michigan Chippewas. A power play goal with 49 seconds to go in overtime, and the Irish complete the sweep here in South Bend. We'll be back with the overtime and post-game report here on CCHN. The Irish win it 6-5 in overtime at Compton. Reagan Cleaves and Devin Serra here back at Compton Family Ice Arena for one final time this weekend. And Devin, what a game we had in front of us today. Central Michigan coming back from a 3-goal deficit and from an 11-4 loss last night. Come here, and although they lose in overtime, they showed resilience the entire night.
Yeah, they really did, Reagan. They were down 3-0 early in this hockey game, and when the lights shine brightest, the biggest stars show up, and Andrew Porzanic was that biggest star. He is him, by the way. 3 goals on the night, completing the hat trick, got them back in the hockey game, and when it was a 3-2 game, we saw the momentum start to shift. They came out of the locker room in the third period, played a lot more poised and with a lot more control. They weren't playing the dump and chase style that they had to in the first and second because the Irish forecheck was so good and forced them to be so tired in their own zone. They started making plays happen in front. They got Sa moving, took his comfortability away a lot, and it led to a lot of Chippewa goals that ultimately led to the tie hockey game, which sent it to overtime.
Indeed, we'll take you goal by goal here pretty darn quickly because we want to get back on the bus and back to Mount Pleasant here this afternoon. But things started off quickly for Notre Dame. 3:51 in. Zufer from Welsh got the Irish going, and Kurowski would add to that total at 7:13. Later with an assist to Renzulli. Renzulli would end up having a phenomenal night, including the eventual game-winning goal. That took us to the second period where 8:54 in, Steckman picked off a pass from Hayden Flynn at the Chippewa blue line. He was in all alone and snapped it blocker side past Elijah Jones. And at that point, Devin, we were thinking it might be a replay of yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit so. It looked like the Chippewas were tired. They looked demoralized on that bench. But the story changed right now with Andrew Porzanic after that.
Indeed, Andrew Porzanic would get things going for Central Michigan when Connor Morgan picked up a loose puck in the left wing corner for Central Michigan. He found Porzanic in the slot wide open. He let a one-timer go along the ice, and it beat Sa to put CMU on the board. Then Porzanic on the power play about 3 minutes later would try the wraparound, and with 4.5 seconds, he failed on the wraparound, was able to work into the slot after picking up the rebound, and he picked the top corner pass Sa, and we went into period 3 down only by 1, Devin.
Yeah, and really that was a test goal of resilience. He didn't give up on the play. He stuck with it, and really the whole team kind of rode that momentum and rode that example and said, hey, look, guys, we got to stick with it. This is still a hockey game, and I talked to head coach Ty Cataline ahead of that third period, and he literally said it's a brand-new hockey game. You have to win the period and get the whole game out of your picture, and they did just that.
For CMU, that Porzanic goal, Devin, was a little bit of a microcosm for the third period for CMU. They got out of the gate. They didn't get things going until after Renzulli scored to put Notre Dame up by 2 with 7 minutes to go. And we're sitting in the broadcast booth going, oh boy, this one isn't going to get interesting. But oh my, Devin, we were wrong. Central Michigan ended up getting back within one with Porzanic's hat trick at 14:41. The assist on that one going to Brendan Kielb, getting his first point in the ACHA here today. Then at 17:34, Hopkins scored to make it a 5-3 game. And again, the Chippewas seemed a little bit deflated on that bench, but they did not let that get them down. They would get a power play after that when Hopkins and Renzulli were sent to the box. CMU would score on the ensuing 4-on-3 because they were themselves down a man when Hopkins scored that goal, and Christopher Martin would score to bring CMU back within 1.
Yeah, and that penalty really was the key. The celebration was the big story, right? Hopkins looks like he's got the game in tow. They're down by 2 goals. They're deflated, but you get a quick penalty like that, quick power play, and good things happen when the Chippewas forecheck well.
And Hopkins and Renzulli were sent off immediately after the goal. They weren't even allowed to go into the high 5 line. There was a scrum around the net, and they were both sent off by the referees, and that put CMU on the power play, which they converted. And then with 18:49 gone in the third period, with Renzulli still in the box, Central Michigan's captain Keelan Baker ties up the game for CMU on the power play.
A big play, and we talked about the 2 players to watch in that third were Andrew Porzanic and Keelan Baker. Why? Because Keelan Baker is that dirty, crummy player that just gets into those hard-to-reach areas and makes it frustrating for you because he does everything that you love as a hockey player and a captain that stepped up when the team needed him most.
And that's been Central Michigan's style of play for years. Gritty, getting into the dirty areas, playing big physical hockey, and that really helped them here tonight against a small, fast team in Notre Dame. They were able, unlike last night, to take the physicality to the Fighting Irish and get a point out of the game here tonight. We would then go into overtime, and things were looking good for CMU until 2:13 in, when Andrew Porzondik received a hooking penalty on a breakaway for Steckman, and that would send him to the box with 2 seconds to go on that power play at the tail end of a long Irish possession on the offensive end. Renzulli would snap a shot from the left circle underneath the pads of Elijah Jones, giving the Irish the win here at Compton.
And a big win for the Irish as they sweep the Chippewas in this weekend series. They've now won 10 straight hockey games since their first loss of the season to Purdue in overtime. And for CMU now, they drop a 4th straight, but they get a point out of the night. And, I mean, the story will be that the Irish sweep the weekend series, but the bigger picture is that CMU was very resilient. They showed their mental fortitude, not just from their leadership group, but from their young forwards that stuck with it and got them to overtime and allowed for this one to be a hockey game. But at first, we thought it was going to be the same story of last night.
Indeed. CMU on the power play tonight, it helped them a lot. They were 3 for 6 on the evening. Their penalty kill recovered a bit from last night, to say the least. They again allowed 2 goals, but this time on 7 Irish opportunities, so that'll bump their PK percentage up just a little bit more from the 89% that it was coming in.
And let's not forget that penalty kill group was ranked 3rd in the nation coming into tonight, and it was led by a group of forwards that don't always show up on the defensive side of things. Isaac Gibbs had a couple of key blocks. Sam Camara played phenomenal defensively. Christopher Martin was getting in the passing lanes everywhere. So this group has a lot of momentum to build off of. I would say defensively they still had a little bit of collapse. They looked like they were tired on their end of the ice. That's going to happen when you have injured players and scratches. But as the season goes on and they start to pick up players coming back, Ben Rychuk should be back in the lineup soon. Owen Campbell will be back in the spring semester. Tyler Martin. You get these guys that are two-way forwards that can really play the positions well and help them on both sides of the ice, and that showed here tonight. And credit to them. Being short on lines, they played phenomenal and did what they had to do to stay in the game until the very end.
Exactly, and that's what we've been looking for from Central Michigan the last 4 games, is that resilience when you're down to be able to come back. And for the last 3 games, it was like, okay, CMU was unable to come back, was unable to get their feet under them, and tonight it's really heartening to see them do that with this young group, show that resilience that they showed last year.
Yeah, and a team that's still looking to kind of find their identity, not really sure where they fit in the scheme of the ACHA as far as the rankings go. We're going to have to wait till this week to see where they end up. I would say somewhere slotted in the top 20, but it'll be a hard bid after their losses to Florida Gulf Coast and Notre Dame now this weekend.
Big losses to Notre Dame last night, but let's focus on the positives. CMU came back tonight, showed resilience, and overall they should not hang their head about this loss. They played a very good game, and it was a penalty in the end that cost them the game. Taking a look at our goaltenders tonight, Vincent Sa for Notre Dame stopped 25 of 30 Central Michigan shots, and Elijah Jones, in his second ever start for Central Michigan, faced 55 shots from Notre Dame. Oh. He turned aside 49 of them. That's a heavy shot load, and he played well here tonight, keeping the Chippewas in the game when they needed it.
Yeah, and the coolest thing that stood out to me for Elijah Jones, his second career start, had a shutout against Lake Superior State, against a team that wasn't very good. This is an opponent that is ranked nationally considered one of the best. And facing as many shots as he did and the recurrence of shots he took, he didn't just had to save initial shots that came into his chest protector or the glove. He had to make those second and third chance opportunity stops time and time again. And how about him on the 5-on-3, staying poised, keeping this, he allowed a goal from Notre Dame, but he saved in that transition 8, 9, 10 shots. Elijah Jones making his case, I would say, for that starting position that we're still looking for on this team. Who's going to be that starting goaltender after this weekend? Joel Drucker didn't get the chance to play. Lauren Jones had a tough outing last night. But Elijah Jones, I would say, a pretty impressive night, although he allowed 6 goals.
Indeed, an impressive night for Elijah Jones. And let's move on to take a look at our players to watch, Devin. We had Nathan Bottles for CMU. He generated a couple of opportunities on the offensive end for things and played a good back check for CMU, but other than that, he didn't touch the score sheet.
No, but the one thing he did was the little details of creating penalties and creating offense for this team. He had a notable time in the neutral zone. He created a hooking penalty on one of the Irish defenders, and that was caused by his resilience and his resounding forecheck to get to the puck, to put in the extra effort. That's something that we've waited to see from this leadership group, is really take that extra effort, takes that extra step to show this young core, hey, this is the style of hockey we play. It doesn't matter what the score is. We're not going to give up till the end. And Nathan Bottles, even though he didn't get on the score sheet, he showed that tonight. Very impressive, I'd say, from the transfer.
Yeah, Nathan Bottles, the transfer from Arcadia, as you mentioned, taking a leadership role in just the first half of his first season here at CMU. We're excited to see where he goes the rest of this campaign. We've already talked about Lauren Jones, our other player to watch. Again, he played phenomenal tonight. Taking a look for Notre Dame, we had Max Zufer for the Irish. He had a goal tonight. I believe it was the first goal of the night for Notre Dame, so he played well. And then Ryan Renzulli with a game-winning goal in overtime, 2 goals and 2 assists on 6 Notre Dame goals.
Yeah, and if you're a Notre Dame fan, it's a young and fast team that plays with a lot of oomph in their step. They can outpace defenders easily to the puck. They're a type of team that is so exciting to watch because of their pure offensive ability. Zufer and Renzulli make up a core of a plethora of players. We didn't even talk about Zachary Welsh this week, the leading scorer. He was relatively quiet for the entire weekend. It was his support system that stepped up, and among other forwards, I mean, this Irish team is so exciting to watch just from an offensive standpoint.
And you talk about the Irish. Welsh really didn't show up on the score sheet, but that's what makes Notre Dame such a good hockey team. They spread the wealth across the board so well, and for them, they do a really good job, and they've got an exciting season ahead of them coming in to their next series at 10-0-1. Taking a look at our keys to the game, Devin, you would get goals early, PK and easy better, and get your top guys the puck.
Well, they didn't do 2 of the 3 of those. Getting a goal early was a little bit tough tonight. Obviously going down 3-0 aforementioned. But, I thought among my keys to the game that they played well on the PK. As we mentioned, they gave up 2 last night, 1 here in this game, but overall a pretty solid unit defensively, getting the top guys the puck. And that happened. Andrew Japorzanik took the game over, 5 points on the night. Your biggest players needed to step up when the moment mattered most, and those forwards stepped up, and they're going to have to continuing on here as they got to look to regroup now and get ready for U of M Flint.
You do have to get ready for the Wolverines. We'll talk about that upcoming series in a bit. But taking a look at the 3 stars of the game. And the number 3 star, we had Kirowski for Notre Dame. He had a goal and 2 assists tonight. He played a very good game for Notre Dame. Second star of the game, Andrew Porzonik. How can you not put him in the top 3 stars here for this game? A hat trick and two assists, factoring on every single CMU goal here this afternoon.
Yeah, really impressive night, as we mentioned, the hat trick. We'll give him a little bit of a crap on the bus for that late penalty there in the penalty box. No, jokes aside, look, Andrew Porzonik willed his team back into this one. And from a leadership standpoint, this is what we've been waiting for Andrew Porzonik to do. Now that he's in that senior leadership role, we know he has the offensive ability. We know he can finish the play. Now he has to be the one that sets the example and the tone for the rest of the year, and he showed that in a big game.
And the first star of the game tonight, Ryan Renzulli, with 2 goals, 2 assists, including the game-winning goal, scoring from the bottom of the left circle to give the Irish to lift the Irish over the Chippewas here at Compton. He played really well tonight.
He did, absolutely.
Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for both these 2 teams. Central Michigan will be on the road for the 3rd straight time come next Friday against U of M Flint on November the 4th. They will take on the Wolverines at 7:30 p.m. at Crystal Fieldhouse. We'll have coverage for you starting at around 7 p.m. here on CCH. And as for Notre Dame, they turn around to take on Grand Valley State next weekend in a 1-goal set here at Compton Family Ice Arena. And Hockey House, if you're watching this, that's a game to watch next weekend. 2 of the top 10 teams last season battling it out here at Compton.
Reigning Vezina Cup champions, Grand Valley State, one of those teams probably going to get a bid to nationals later on this year. And we're going to have to see from this Notre Dame team how they respond again. They kind of have these games where they blow opponents out and then they make it close. So we'll have to keep track of that one and see where Grand Valley falls in the scheme of things.
And for CMU, that's a game to watch also because they have a series coming up in December against Grand Valley. We'll keep an eye on that for you here on CCHN next weekend. Special thanks to our cameraman. My dad came out again. Thank you for him. Randy Cleaves helping us out behind the scenes with the camera. Again, Lucas Bagansky helping us out with the camera as well. Joe Grogan doing some production for us as well. Short on staff this weekend, and we made the best of it here at Compton. That'll just about do it for us this afternoon, but we will be back on Friday when Central Michigan will take on Michigan Flint from Crystal Fieldhouse. Until then, this is Reagan Cleaves for Devin Sarah and everybody else here at CCHN saying so long from Compton Family Ice Center as the Central Michigan Chippewas fall to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish by a final score of 6-5 in overtime. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful night, everybody.